Alright, that should be us getting going. And we got just small group.
I usually try and do my dragons by Monday.
What do you do?
What was that? I didn't catch a word of that. What did you say?
I said I usually try and deal with all my dragons by Monday. It makes the week easier.
You know,
I don't know. You can always save one for Friday, like a nice big bang to go out on.
Good evening, Internet. And we totally haven't been streaming for about 20 seconds without me saying anything.
That's not awkward.
Hello, welcome back to the Bedlam RPG stream. We are low on characters tonight. We have precisely 3. We have no idea where one is. One is off being musical and should be here later. And one is driving across the middle of nowhere.
Lame excuse for not making it.
I know.
Yeah, come on.
No, it's great. You know, you may be touring Grand Teton National Park on horseback, but come on, man, at least send us your stats. I don't know.
I don't think we have stats for either of them, do we?
No, we don't. There you go.
Whoa.
It's alright, we'll just make them completely irrelevant. They all...
And suddenly they all pass out, unexplained.
And suddenly they all...
We just have like a flashback to the 3 of us doing something before the, you know, all of us dealing with the Raven thing.
We're all back on the boat, and everyone else is...
We're all back on the boat.
And it's the middle of the night, and you 3 just randomly can't sleep.
The 3 of us saved the day, and no one even knew it.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
That would
terrible...
actually be good to
Quick, Andrew, whip up a combat for us.
Okay. Tiefling? A black tiefling? What black tiefling? You mean, wait, Eliseth got off the boat? No, she didn't. There we go. Alright, so, you guys, if I remember correctly, you guys are being walked. You guys aren't being walked. You're walking back into the inn with the Raven. I don't remember exactly what you guys were going back in for. I don't remember if you were going back in to talk more or to talk to Diaz.
We're going back in to talk to
Diaz.
Okay, you go back in to talk to Diaz. Over here was the one who had a link to Diaz. He's not here.
I have it now.
That's right! Next up, you have the link to Diaz.
Yes, I was just telling him that he wasn't allowed to cackle in my head. No, none of that. That's a
We're
rule.
gonna hit him. To get him to stop cackling.
That, maybe not. I feel like that's a bad idea.
Alright,
But-
my friends. Come inside, we will consult, no?
Is he there physically now?
Make a perception check.
Ugh. 22. Betrayed me.
I think that's a 38, but give me 1 second.
38, nice.
I think. I just need to double check what my modifier is.
There we go.
Oh yeah, we got one more quote. While Harley's finding her modifier, we got one more quote after the session ended last week.
Yes.
Which was from Noah saying, "My liver is a renewable resource."
Yeah, 38.
I mean, theoretically? Oh, 38, okay. So, next, you get a good look around, and you know, like, you do recognize some of the people in here still. There's the 3 sailors from before, there's the other, but there is a new person in the bar.
Okay.
There is some, so, you know, there's still Method Whipple, there's still Captain Skinner, the guy with the glasses, and, the Lycan and Halfling, sailors are still there.
Is the disturbed tabaxi there?
The disturbed tabaxi, the older disturbed tabaxi gentleman is still at the end of the counter looking mildly ruffled.
Sorry, one quick question.
Yes.
You said that, what's her face, Mrs. Whipple, was it?
Yes.
Looked like she had wanted to be saying something to us before stuff went down with the Raven.
You did.
Nexa, do you want to go check that out?
Sure.
I can come with you for backup, but talking to people is your department.
You can come over if you want. I don't think that'll deter her. She seemed like she was pretty okay with us coming in, but I don't think anything is up.
That was before I dragged someone in by the throat.
That's true. Maybe you should stay over here. I'll go over to Mrs. Whipple.
Okay, Mr. Oh, hello, dear. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you, Mrs. Whipple?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How are you?
You just asked that.
I did? Oh.
Yes. But anyway, I was curious. Had you wanted to say something to us before?
Oh, I was just going to say, whenever you're ready to meet with the master, let me know, will you?
Yes, I think we are now.
Oh, very well. Okay, well, you see, the master of the old keep up there, she kind of just points vaguely in a direction. You don't know what she's pointing at, to be perfectly honest. She's kind of carries on. Yeah, the master of the old keep up there, he's kind of concerned about you, and he just wanted to come for you to come, and we could all go see him together. I know he sent me left me some money for an errand he wanted me to run, and it was for when you people showed up. So it's called the Doorless Keep. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
The Doorless Keep. Have I heard of that?
Make either a profession check or a knowledge history, knowledge local. Yeah, any of those checks would.
I can do those.
Yes. Go ahead and pick one and roll your little heart out.
Okay.
Started at 8.
28.
12-hour day.
On knowledge history.
28 on knowledge history. You think you've heard of it? You don't know. You don't remember anything about it. It's a pretty obscure tidbit, but you think you've heard of it.
It sounds really familiar. Could you tell me a bit about it?
Well, it was a fortress that was built here by one of the empires. I don't remember. It was one of the old imperial emperor types. He came here and he built it out here to protect us, and then he kind of left it alone. And then the new master took over. So he's kind of in charge, but also the governor's kind of in charge still.
Okay. Who's the governor?
Oh, the governor at that time or the governor now?
Well, didn't you say they were... Which time period were you referring to?
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I was not clear about my transition. So, okay. So, in this time period, both the new master and the governor are kind of in charge. Back then, it was the empire came when they took over with the fortress, and then they put in a governor, for the first governor.
Okay. That makes sense. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. So, I will,
Yes, let me take you to where he told me to bring you, if you're all ready.
let me go talk to them first, and I'll come right back over, okay?
Sure, and she waves for another woman, younger woman, to kind of take over and man the bar while she's gone.
Okay. I'll go tell everyone what she said.
All right, sure.
About what she wants us to do, not about the history necessarily.
Sure. Okay, so you just tell her.
I thought he was meeting us here.
That's kind of what I thought.
He has a keep?
But I mean, doorless keep, that sounds safe.
Really great. Wow, how many pies does he have his fingers in?
I feel like he's really old. Probably has his fingers in a lot of pies.
He's got a lot of political power across a lot of areas. I wonder if he's gotten Ionis. Do we want to do it?
Do you want to not do it?
Do you think we could demand that he come here? I doubt it, but
We could do just a group of us go. If everything's legit, there will be no problem. If things aren't legit, then at least not all of us are walking into a trap.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What are you doing,
mean-
guys?
Why don't the three of us and Kaz go?
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I mean, actually, we could. Yeah, that works. I mean,
Thus
because
eliminating the need for other characters until they
we're
arrive.
also just as a group to go. If we need to escape someplace, you're sneaky, and I would assume good at traps things. She
Decent.
talks well to people. I'm beefy. I have importance behind my name.
I can also poof us out of places for a short distance now.
And I also make a
Ooh.
really good secondary at talking to people.
And Kazaroff is
Yeah.
magic.
So, as a squad to go,
We're not bad.
pretty good group. And if we need people to rescue us, Eliseth is a ranger. She's kind of what she does is track people down,
Yeah.
figure out where they are. So,
Triss can do a crap ton of damage, and
Yeah.
right.
and that means
As a rescue squad, they're a really good rescue squad. And as a go into someplace squad, we're really good for that. So,
That kind of makes sense.
that actually makes a lot of sense.
Convenient.
It
Let's
does.
do it.
Maybe your plan will horribly backfire, but maybe it won't.
maybe
So,
not.
so
The only part I don't like is that Kaz could be walking into a trap, but I'm not sure Kaz will let me go alone, so.
I'm coming with you. All right, so if you guys are gathered, Mrs. Whipple is by the door, preparing to take you.
All right. All right, Mrs. Whipple, I think we're ready to go.
Okay, all right, here we go. She opens the door and slips out. So as you guys are slipping out, Vilkas, Kazaroth's going to push up on her tiptoes up next to your ear, and she's going to whisper, "I hate him." And she doesn't say who him is. She just says, "I hate him," and then drops down to a normal walk to catch up with Casita.
She hates him. That could mean either the Raven or the Dragon. I'm going to assume it means DS.
All
Hi,
right.
Kaz.
While we're walking, I'd like to just pleasantly talk with Mrs. Whipple about her inn.
Okay, so she's going to tell you about her inn. Her inn's about 100 years old. It was run by her auntie, the first person who ran it. She handed it down to her daughter, and then the daughter handed it over to her cousin, Mrs. Whipple. Mrs. Whipple was married twice. Her first husband was hung as a pirate. Her second husband, jumped off a cliff. She doesn't seem She didn't seem terribly broken up about either.
Such luck with relationships, Mrs. Whipple.
Oh, it's quite all right, She every once in a while she'll remark with fondness about a certain Mr. Green.
Hmm. Can I ask?
This reminds me of the game, the LARP.
Yes. Can I ask her a little bit about the island and the history of the island?
Sure, what do you want
while
to
we're
know?
walking this way? Just in general, so like if the inn was here 100 years ago, how old is the civilization that's on the island?
Okay, so as far as you can tell, this is a non-indigenous island. As far as you can tell, nobody started here, as far as people can tell. That's something you just know from being a bard. But what she does about local history is kind of people started settling here early in the Empire's history. So that's give or take 600 years ago.
Okay.
The place didn't really become sort of a center of like trade and stuff until about 100 years ago, though. That's when they discovered that's when they discovered that there were more resources than they thought on the island. So
What sort of resources?
timber, medicine, and surprisingly, a lot of silver.
Interesting.
So mainly known for silver medicine and whatever the first thing I said was. Sorry, silver medicine and timber. Like as far as you can see here, it's just been palm trees, but you don't know what they might use that for.
Could you tell me a little bit about the slave trade on Isla Mara?
Oh, it's just, it's a thing that happens every day. It just kind of happens. It's the pirates.
Excellent.
The pirates go on raids up and down the coast. They don't bother usually with the Empire that much, but they either come up from Ionis or they rob boats, or they haven't attacked too many cities with the Empire being so strong and everything. But that's just that's part of how things go in Ionis.
Seeing as how Ionis is part of the Empire, why
It's not.
why does the governor?
It's not.
It's not part of the Empire.
Nope.
I was fairly certain.
Isla Mara is.
Isla Mara is part of the Empire.
Isla Mara, yeah, not Ionis. It's seeing as how Isla Mara is part of the Empire. Sorry, I said the wrong thing.
Gotcha.
Isla Mara is part of the Empire. What is the local authority? They deal with pirates?
You see, it's kind of been a bit of a how do you say, a gentleman's understanding. So you have the slavers, and you see, basically the thing is, Isla Mara gives a lot of taxes. It's a place for a lot of wealthy people, so they give a lot of taxes to the Empire, as long as the Empire protects their business ventures. Their business ventures are dependent on the slaves that come up from Ionis.
Is there just that one? Does most of the slave trade come to that one?
That one port?
Yeah.
There's only for all the bustle here. It's only there's only one port. There's only the two ports, really. It's like the two divided by the lighthouse, but it's all like one big harbor.
So all that one auction area for all the slaves.
Yeah, pretty much that's the whole thing. I mean, not that some of the higher end places don't have purely private stuff, but we're not really supposed to talk about that.
Did we see when we walked by, DM, did they like hold the slaves nearby the auction area?
You did not see.
Is that where they house the slaves while they're waiting to sell them?
No, they don't host them there. They host them up. So there's a place where there's the they host them up on the. I gave it a name. Oh no, I didn't. That's just like so. They host them at the public jail, except in a different place from the prisoners.
So the people bringing the slaves in are known to be pirates.
Some of them, but not all of them.
How are they acquiring the slaves if they're not pirates?
Purchased in Ionis.
Got it. So there are some that are just purchasing slaves in Ionis and bringing them here.
Yes, but also a lot of the slavers from Ionis shop here too.
Interesting.
About how many slaves are there?
Oh, I don't know. On the island right now?
Sure. Well,
or the
up for sale in the pens.
up through sale. I don't know, a few hundred a day. On this island right now, a few thousand probably.
Lovely.
That's got to be a huge portion of the local economy then, if there's a few hundred sales a day.
Oh yeah, it is. It's where they make most of the taxes.
Interesting.
This isn't technically part of the empire, though. It's basically an imperial protectorate. Because it used to belong to Ionis, but then the empire captured it from Ionis.
That's generally how you transport someone else's country. Interesting.
So as she's leading you, she leads you down from the lighthouse. She's leading you out across this very grand bridge. This is the really big one you guys saw when you were first coming in. The one that you were afraid that Rodrigo would crash into. It is majestic. It's made of this dark red stained wood. It's a single arch over the harbor with scaffolding working up the middle, crisscrossed and latticed. People are just bustling along it all the time, even though it's getting on to be about 10, 11 o'clock at night. You're surprised. The city is very well lit and very well awake. Like, you're used to Blackmore. Blackmore rolls up the sidewalks at like 9. It's even Santa Marina, outside of the the taverns up by the bar, there wasn't much of a nightlife in Santa Marina. But here it's just there are almost as many people out and about as there were on your way here.
2 questions.
Yes.
1, is it always this busy at night? And if so, what is everyone doing? And 2, this master that you're taking us to meet with, do you do business with him often?
Oh, not usually. He sometimes has me run errands for him. He pays very well. I think he pays just about everybody on the island.
For
Fascinating.
what purposes?
Oh, for all kinds of things. For protection, for special influence with the Empire. If you need something to get done, you can give it to him, and he'll see if the money goes where it needs to go.
And the nightlife?
Oh, the nightlife, it's everywhere. What do you feel like?
What is there?
Anything you could possibly dream.
That's a lot.
That's a little scary.
I mean that figuratively. I mean like she looks at Vilkas first. She looks to you, and then looks to Kazaroth, and then looks away, and then back to Casita. So anything that you could possibly want, I can tell you where to go.
Are there pit fights?
Oh no.
Nexa smiles knowingly.
I mean, this is our pit fighting crew, guys. This is how we made lots of money before.
Am I allowed to beat you this time?
I can make it so whoever beats whoever, whatever. I don't care what you guys want, but
Okay.
I don't think that's our main focus right now.
Okay.
No, I'm curious. For the way back home.
Let's see.
Really?
Will she know? Let's see. Oh yeah, I heard that there is one. If you go behind the Hall of Justice and make a left behind the hill, there's a place where people are always fighting great battles.
I feel like that would be a bad plan.
What was? Harley? What was the bad plan?
I was just saying, like, can you imagine the tabloids? Jarl of Blackmore caught in a pit fight.
Jarl of Blackmore.
Illegal fighting pit in Islamara. Jarl of Blackmore found. Four witnesses say.
Better yet, Kazaroth gets set up to be to be a patsy, so Casita can get odds on you. To be Jarl of Blackmore beats wife in underground fighting tournament.
Jarl of Blackmore beats his wife in public in a legal pit fight.
In public for money. Things that aren't actually funny. Anyway. Okay, sorry. She's still leading you ahead. You make a right turn. You're heading north now. She takes you to another bridge, another long bridge, which is also done sort of in another arch. They really like seeing to arches around here. But this is a instead of a darker color, this one's actually been painted sort of a dusty gold color. It's also wood. All the bridges here are wood, except that you've seen are wood.
All the better for brain.
Yeah, this is a very, very long bridge. This is longer than even the big one, but it's fairly low to the ground. And there's a guy who appears to be collecting tolls. Mrs. Whipple's just going to drop some coins in his hands, and you guys can proceed across. There are city guard here. People aren't hanging out on this bridge. They're usually just crossing and coming back, or
Okay.
crossing and leaving. Here you are now in the neighborhood, which before, after you had gone from sort of the slightly more the less tightly packed area around the lighthouse. When you went over the big bridge, you went into an upper class neighborhood. Big houses, artisan stores, a lot of nightlife. Like a lot of nightlife, but not rowdy. After you cross this longer bridge, you're in definitely a lower class section of the city. It's not sketchy. It just definitely, much more working class. The night scene is, there are more people out and about, enjoying the night. It's louder, it's rowdier, there's more music, there's cheering, there are, people spilling out of taverns onto the streets. Very few of the buildings here are over one story, whereas back in the richer sections, there were more tall, more large buildings. Oh, also, as you were going through the richer section, you saw one very, very large estate that had, pillars and an iron gate around it.
Who
And
lives there?
oh, that would be the Miranda family. They were one of the first really rich people to move here from the continent. And you also pass a really a huge, even compared to the rest of the island, swath of land where you see trees that aren't palm trees poking out. Whatever it is, it appears to be closed for the night.
And that is?
Well, that would be the botanical gardens. If you're interested, you can go in and walk around there for I think it's 2 gold.
That sounds really nice, actually.
Mm-hmm. So as you're crossing the long bridge, you're able to look out and you're able to see the harbor. You're able to see all the boats. You see a few small party boats floating around towards the more upper class side.
Party boats.
Yep, party boats. You see big boats, even bigger boats than you're used to seeing. Proper sea-going galleons. Riding, being unloaded. Wait, is there anything you guys want to try and look out for when you're in this sort of more working class neighborhood? You're still heading north on sort of the main thoroughfare through there.
I could make myself, if needed, with 31 in combat. So long as I'm going to get a 4 to hit.
No, are you saying something that was meant for all of us to hear?
Oh, I just figured out a feat that I could. It's a combat feat so that I could learn it in battle temporarily, called combat expertise,
Mm-hmm.
which would make it so that I would have a 31 armor class.
Yeah, you trade out your attack bonus for your AC.
Right, in exchange for having a -4 to attack, which I already have on both of my weapons, 17 or 18 to hit. So -4 to that, and I could have a 31 for other people to hit me. It'd be kind of cool.
Bonk, 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 bonk.
He's making a face kind of like this.
Yeah.
Ah, the evil villain face.
Yeah.
Nothing could hit me. It'd be amazing.
Bonk.
That's not entirely true,
Bonk, bonk,
but
bonk,
it's
bonk.
pretty close.
just a troll just swings its hammer and goes boom. I
don't know. The giant abominable shark would still eat you pretty easily.
Yes, the abominable shark would eat him. Alright, so you guys head north. You're passing over as you start to get towards the north end, you see another bridge in front of you to cross the river that's running through town. Things are starting to get a little bit sketchier now. Palm trees are popping up in odd places. The infrastructure is looking less...
that makes it sketchy. Palm trees.
Yes, looking less well done. The buildings are looking more overcrowded and less upkept. the roads are starting to fall apart. You see fewer and fewer members of the town guard. Um, Eventually, you reach a short bridge. It's a small bridge. It's actually a stone bridge. Um, it's pretty high above the river, so you get the fact that the town kind of goes like this, or actually really goes more like that, like as in the east side being way up here,
Okay.
basin in the middle, west side here. So you're on the west. You're on the extreme west side of town right now. So the bridge is pretty high up. It's short. It's made of stone, unlike the other ones. It's very ornately carved. What we today would kind of know as Baroque architecture. There are different statues sitting along it. It looks overgrown. There's like moss and like hanging, clinging things growing from it. There's like one member of the city guard kind of standing here, just kind of walking back and forth across it. You know, this is the Andressi Bridge. You know, this is famous for lovers' suicide. So if any of you are spurned while you're in town, you could just, come here and jump off.
I'm just gonna look at a Kazaroth and raise an eyebrow.
As you're going over, she's gonna peek over the edge and then rejoin you. So after you cross the bridge,
This is a long walk.
this is a really long walk. Okay, so to put it into perspective, you guys, you're walking from down here. You guys are walking from down here.
Nice map.
Thank you. Across this bridge, past these estates, across that bridge, up here, across that bridge, and then you're making a right.
Wow.
So that,
That was
that's a really
quite a walk.
long walk.
How long has this taken us?
You guys, once you get to your destination, you will have walked for about an hour and a half.
So I should know
Wow.
a lot about Mrs.
You should. She's telling you the details of her life. She's telling
What's
you.
her face?
Oh yes, she has two sons. One is a pirate. Well, let me put it this way. One is a privateer.
Judith. What was her last name?
Whipple.
Whipple. Thank you.
Yes. One of her sons is a privateer. The other one she refers to is a good for nothing who never writes.
Oh,
So the good for nothing is not the legal pirate.
Yes. Focus looks brooding. So, as you guys cross the bridge, on your left, you see sort of just a row of just like ramshackled shops off to your left. Off to your right, you see the ruins of what looks almost like a church or something like that. It's not necessarily ruins, but it's definitely something falling apart at the seams with a few people milling around in front of it. So you're gonna make an east and proceed past the ruins of that place. It was beautiful once, you could tell, but a lot of the windows are broken. There's no front door. You can kind of see that there's graffiti on the sides. There's place where it's been damaged by fire, and there's one or two clerical-looking types wandering around, about the business of closing up shop for the night. After a good one, and when I say the place before was kind of lower class. When you get here, this is a slum. Like, the houses are on top of each other. A lot of these are actually multi-story. But they don't look safe or well constructed. Some of them have obvious leans to them. You see at least 2 or 3 houses that have been damaged badly by fire, but haven't really been fixed in any way. The roads aren't paved at all. They're soggy and wet and filled with trash and Lord only
I'm
knows
tired of
what.
the castle. Let's move to this community.
Gonna keep an
Seems like
eye
a nice
out
neighborhood.
for anyone who might look like they're watching us or thinking we might be good marks.
Vilka's Casual is going to dig her claws into your arm as she's walking along at your side.
Don't you think it'd be great, Casita? We could have like one like that house there. You could move in next door. We'd be neighbors.
That would be wonderful.
The whole castle bakery thing. Like I think it's just
We're
not
done.
right for us.
Yeah, this is the rough life that we signed up for.
Nexa just looks at them funny.
Nexa, I'll share a castle with you.
I like this plan.
And we can wander around the slums and beat up thugs. Sounds like a perfect
We
life.
can wander around the
guys-
slums and beat up.
You guys have your high life focus and I beat people up. Sounds awesome.
Well, I was kind of hoping that I'd be the same life as Kazaroth. That was.
Do you,
You weren't expecting your wife to leave you when you moved to the slums.
Vilkas, if you honestly want to move to the slums, I will move to the slum with you.
Aw.
Take your castle.
We'll talk.
I'm sure your kids will grow up really learning the good stuff in life here.
Oh yeah, get a real education. I mean, hey, I was raised in the slums, and look how I turned out.
I was raised in the slums.
I'm not sure what you could consider what I was raised in, but it's probably equivalent to the
You were raised
slums.
in a dungeon in hell. I'm fairly certain.
I wasn't
I
raised
was
in English,
raised in the slave hells and slave pens and the abyss. But like, how does that compare to the slums? I'm not really sure.
Happy 6th
I wonder if
birthday.
anything com-
This is how you shank someone. I'm excited. It's a great
That's going on the quotes list. Happy 6th birthday, here's how you shank someone.
Well, we leave.
You gotta teach them before these kids on the street do.
Yeah. I'll miss the castle. Do you think we should leave Gwarf in charge?
What sort of like amenities do you have in your castle?
You're not getting our castle.
Mrs. Whipple's like she immediately takes a step away from all of you and then continues walking.
We're such good influences, guys.
Gosh, that was such a response. It's not like I was trying to take it from you. You guys wanted to move out. I was just offering to look after it.
I'm sure.
Look after.
Next with your pure motives.
Still more than half the party treasury.
Okay, wait. Does anybody even know about that?
Yes!
You guys
You
recognize
took all the more than half the money at
Everybody knew that, but they just didn't want to say anything about it because they were so happy to have you back.
Okay, I'm also confused because everyone seems to think that they know Nexa is a con artist and no one knows that.
I think you said Casita knows,
I think Casita.
Do you know Casita?
roughly.
I think Casita knows.
I think you told me when I told you I was an assassin.
I don't think I did.
Kazaroth doesn't know that you're a con woman, con elf
I
woman.
think Casita, you probably have an idea about it.
I know you're sketchy, at least.
I know you're sketchy.
Everyone
at
we
least.
meet. So
What was that?
But
Noah?
Nexa's also really good at not making it seem like she's cunning people.
you came in cackling about how you'd gotten all of the beer for free.
I don't recall coming in cackling about that. I just remember having them deliver it.
I
You
do.
definitely made a comment about not paying for it.
No,
you
Also,
didn't
we've
know how
definitely
to
been
how
with
you
you while
feel
you've
about
scammed people out of money.
Okay, but my
So
point
we
still.
don't know for say
Yeah.
that you're a con artist by
You're
profession.
you're kind of sketchy, and we know you're a little bit too
Fairly
fond
obvious.
of your money.
Yeah, you
And
know
that
she's
you
a little
definitely left our
sketchy,
group with more than half of our money.
but we
but
like.
no
you.
one knows outright like that's what she does.
Yeah,
We
it's
have
kinda
some
like
ideas.
Fair.
you don't. You could definitely trust Nexa with something of dangerous value because she would never hurt anybody.
Yeah.
But you don't trust Nexa with something of any other kind of value.
You
because
trust
you might
Nexa not to
steal.
stab you in the back, but you don't trust Nexa not to randomly walk out with your treasury.
But you
Yes.
do trust Casita. Like, you can give her money and she wouldn't care. But you don't
Right.
trust her with the Doom's weapon because she might actually kill everyone in the world just for the fun of it. You don't know.
Okay, so no. She absolutely would not kill everyone in the world for the fun of it. Casita kills on a code. Casita is very lawful.
Yes. I know, not just for the fun of it, but like
To kill people, you either have to
I
be
wouldn't
contracted
trust
to do
Casita
so.
with anything dangerous because she might actually use it.
Potentially, yes.
She might only use it under certain circumstances, but she would use it.
I just made that comment because someone had made a comment about Nexa being open with people, and Nexa is not open with people, and no one except Casita knows anything about Nexa's past.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Which I think is really funny that people think they know about Nexa's past.
No.
So, eventually, as you guys turn right and head east for a little bit, you come to a very ramshackled corner tavern. 3 stories. You would say that it had, at one time, gray paint, now mostly bare boards, and blue shutters, judging by the 2 shutters that are hanging off of it in different shades of blue. A sign hanging by one peg, flapping gently in the nighttime sea breeze, reads, Andrew made.
I'd say they should fire the maintenance team, but it looks like they already did.
Named the Sweet Butt Monkeys. That's not the name of
Named
the
the
tavern.
Sweet Butt Monkeys.
No, the name of the tavern is the Keening Blade Tavern.
I think it should be called the Sweet Butt
The
Monkeys.
Sweet Butt Monkey. It's called the Keening Blade Tavern.
I don't know what you said.
The Keening Blade Tavern.
Keening Blade.
Yeah. Not the Sweet
Sounds
Butt
like a safe
Monkey.
place to go into.
I thought you said careening brain, so
The what? You said what?
Careening brain.
That's another good name.
which didn't make sense.
Alright, so, you see several people hanging outside. Rough looking
What was
type.
the thing? The something butt monkeys?
Sweet butt monkeys.
Monkeys and the careening brain.
The careening brain. We know what a tavern is. So, this building is raised up on stilts. You don't know why. Like a building right by the sea would be, except it's not by the sea. It is near the river, though. Sort of as it drops into the basin area of the town. There's a wide porch with several steps running up to it. Most of the steps are occupied by people. Very seedy looking people. Right in front there's a guy wearing wide puffy pantaloons, no shirt, and what appears to be a jester's hat. Just smoking what you all know is not tobacco. As a matter of fact, it does appear to be our old friend of medicinal supplements. Name just went out of my head.
The blue raspberry
Blue
stuff,
raspberry stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I know fictional drugs!
You know fictional drug. What is it called?
It's not the root stuff, is it?
Theron root.
Theron root, yep.
Theron root, which is and there are just several people. People are just kind of
Can I
wondering.
arrest him?
Can you arrest him?
No, not like, this is Vilgus saying this to his friends. Not actually going over and arresting him.
No, honey, we're not going to arrest anybody yet. Caswell just starts kind of guiding you up the stairs. She's definitely doing her best to look her most intimidating.
Are any of them looking like they're gonna give us trouble?
Oh, you think it wouldn't take much of a test to get any of these people to give you some trouble. There's a very ragged-looking group of sailors up to one corner. There's a lady dressed in sort of a seafaring outfit, who's actually got her hands on her sword. Not drawn, but hands on her sword. She's kind of hanging off at one far end of the pier with a toothless old man who's kind of draped in a loose brown robe. There's a kid who's maybe about 13 or so standing at the door, and as soon as you kind of reach the top, he swears and then just runs into the building.
Well, that was abrupt.
What was that about?
Oh, I don't know. He works behind the bar here. His name is Timothy.
I really hope none of us have been recognized.
What was that?
I really hope none of us have been recognized.
Well, though, because you're reasonably sure that this far from Blackmoor, like, just based on how information travels among the non-arcane classes, the non-noble classes in the world, you'd suspect that, like I say, it's hard enough for people to recognize you when you're walking around Carnaric, let alone Isla Mara.
I'm not the only person in this group, though, that could be well known.
True.
I have no idea where my friends have traveled. That kid definitely seemed to be recognizing someone.
That's good. Casita, you've never been to this island before, but you have been around.
No.
Kazaroth used to live in a port city. So did you, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And Nexa, nobody really knows where you've been.
Nexa's
I
been all
don't
over.
know where Nexa's been.
If there's anyone on the stairs who looks like they'd consider giving us trouble at all as we walk up, I'm just gonna give them big smiles.
I don't know. I'd be saying that the guy at the bottom with the Theron root, he gave you guys a pretty good once over.
I just give a big pointy-toothed smile, like, come on, make my day.
He looks away and continues on with his evening.
Alright.
Vilcus, make a reflex save.
Okay. Best roll I've ever made. Alrighty, that is a 19.
Okay, 19. So as you hit the top step just gives out beneath you. You are able to actually, you're able to spring to safety. You're able to kind of not really spring, but kind of flop awkwardly on all fours to the porch. Like, you didn't fall through, but you looked a little goofy.
Solid.
What have you been eating?
No, not solid. No.
7-foot tall lichen in full plate mail. Yeah, it's only gonna weigh a lot.
Yeah, you hear kind of the hubbub inside dies off a little bit. Somebody looks out the window, then hubbub continues. Are you guys gonna go inside, or are you just gonna chill out on the porch for a while, or?
Is this where she told us Diaz is?
At this point, Mrs. Whipple stops and she's kind of directing you to the door.
Okay, are you not coming any further?
No, I think it's best for my business if I'm not seen in a place like this. Can you find your way back?
Yes.
I think so.
All right, very well. I'll be seeing you tomorrow or tonight, or if I don't see you, have a nice life.
Anything else you need to know before going in?
No, I'm good. She's like, this one, she's like gathering up her dress and running down the stairs.
Sense motive.
You're gonna be making this in the back of her head as she's gathering her dress and running down the stairs.
She can't outrun me.
Are you just gonna start sprinting after her?
I'd like to sense motive that last comment.
Go for it.
Natural 20.
You get the feeling she's more scared than threatening. Like,
Okay.
like she's like, she probably does business with this master, whoever it is, but she probably knows that if you cross this person, it's not going to end well for you. So also she's a lone she's a lone older woman in basically what accounts to Kensington. So she is sprinting right now.
Hi, Ethan.
Greetings.
Yay,
Sanitation.
another character.
And the Raven pops up.
Important.
A long walk to a seedy tavern where we're supposed to be having a meeting.
Nice. Is my character still with y'all?
No,
Nope.
it was you, Eliseth, and Triss are back at the tavern. As far as
We
we
sort
can...
of strategically left everyone else behind because we had a skeleton crew.
Works for me.
Is there anything you'd like to be doing in the meantime while your companions have slipped off to negotiate with Diaz?
Probably sharpening my sword.
Okay. And if there's any, like chat that you want to do with Triss or Eliseth, just message them.
Okay.
They both said they were good to. Well, at least I know for a fact that Eliseth said she was good to get messaged off the game, and Gabrielle's always good for that kind of thing. So.
She's driving.
But she's driving right now. All right. So. Do you guys proceed inside the Keening Sword?
I thought it was the Keening Blade.
It is, in fact, the Keening Blade. Andrew can't read his own handwriting.
The careening braid.
The careening brain, yes. Oh, that doesn't say s'mores. My problem. Alright, so you guys go inside. Do you guys go inside?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure. I was reading my notes
You
and I
know,
got excited for a
Like,
second.
seedy tavern, crush open front door, walk in like we own the place.
Oh yeah, Vilcus, make an intimidation check with advantage.
Oh.
No, wait. You don't. You have disadvantage from falling, but you have advantage because Kazaroth and Cassita are with you.
Just roll.
Go for it. Yeah, just straight roll.
That is a 33.
Woo!
Everybody-
We're like the mobsters walking into a bar.
You walk in, and like people, especially people right around the door, like as soon as sort of some people like you look around, thing you immediately notice. This would be specifically, I think, Nexa and Cassita. I can say for sure. You and Kazaroth are about 3 out of less than 10 females in here. So immediately, people upon noticing you take notice, and then immediately back off when they see that the 3 of you look terrifying, and Nexa appears to be with you on some sort of important business. So you guys walk into there like you own the place, and people step back.
Does it look like the other females in this place work here?
Yes. Like, this is not a place that a lot of people... It's like, this is not a place where ladies would come to hang out. This place is nasty. It smells nasty. The floor is sticky. There are gaps, and you can see there are some gaps where you can just see straight down to the ground beneath the tavern, which is like, that's like a good 8 to 10 feet drop. The walls are kind of covered in like tattered like silk and taffeta and like red and white colors. The lanterns, all the lanterns are like dirty. Some of them have reddish glass or pinkish glass. Some of them have just straight clear glass, but it's all very grimy. Everything looks dusty. It's very full though. There's a lot of people. There's an argument going on off in some side section. There's loud boisterousness. Two people are fighting. They're just straight up fighting at the bar. Nobody seems to care. Like people,
Do they have any skill? Or are they just drunk guys, like, swinging
They're
at each
drunk
other?
guys swinging at each other as they're rolling around the floor. Like, this is every day. Like,
Aw.
one of the waitresses just steps over them. This is,
You have failed this city.
Vilkas is ready to go.
This is a high quality establishment.
Noah?
What?
It's on your head.
It's a hood.
Okay.
It is time for the order.
There we go.
Is he Palpatine? Is he Bill Belichick? That's the question.
The world will never know.
Alright, so, what do you guys want to do while you're in here?
I mean, where's Diaz? Do we see him?
You don't see Admiral Diaz, but you do see the boy that ran back inside. He's like standing in front of the bar, looking at you.
Okay. Can I look back over at him and make eye contact with him?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna point like that.
I'm not letting her walk up alone.
Okay, so
We're going up as a
Yeah.
group.
okay, so as you guys start approaching, he turns around and kind of runs up the back stairs.
Follow, I guess.
All right, so you all follow. Vilkas, based on your previous encounter with stairs, you're stepping very gingerly. You're usually going.
The edges. Near the walls.
Okay. You're fine. These stairs are somewhat sturdy, but you still hear them creaky in but you're just cringing with every step he takes. Fortunately, they hold up. And you guys reach the top to where you're in a narrow, very narrow hallway. Like, Vilkas, for you, it's uncomfortable to walk straight or walk without bending a little bit.
Huh.
Like, even for someone at Kazaroth's size, I mean, she's quite big for a female like him, but she's
How
not.
is she?
She's 6'1". So that's not an unreasonable size for a person. You know, Vilkas, you're an NBA basketball player. Kazaroth's a normal, the size of a, slightly above average human male, but she is getting kind of, like, her ears are hitting the ceiling as she goes.
Casita looks at Nexa and gives her the little, like, yeah, it's nice to be short look.
How tall is Nexa?
Nexa's like 5'9".
You two are fine. So, the boy opens a door for you.
I'm still the runt.
How tall?
Yep.
Are you?
I'm always the runt.
How tall are you?
Casita is 5'4". Casita's taller than I am.
Nice.
That's how tall I actually am. If that helps.
And she's terrifying.
All of our characters are taller than we actually are in real life.
Yeah.
Not so.
That's actually
How tall
true.
are you, Ethan?
I'm 5'8" and my character's 5'7".
Why did we all make characters taller? Never
Because some
mind.
of us want to live a life where we can reach things without standing on chairs.
Tasha.
Yes.
I will never make it to 5'2".
I still have to use chairs to reach things.
I have a
in my
dream
kitchen.
where I don't have to stand on chairs and counters to get dishes.
I remember the old days when I could climb onto a counter and people wouldn't give me a weird look.
By that, Noah beats Tuesday. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I have seen you climb on many things.
Yeah, I just get weird looks for it now.
Yeah,
Got a lot less weird looks as a kid.
including a tree to get a coconut. Or was it a frog? Was it a frog?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Second night in Israel, when you climbed the tree. It was the same night. The same night you thought you lost your passport.
Yeah. Those weren't coconut palms.
Were
They were palm trees. They weren't coconut palms. So.
I thought you were just climbing the trees because you felt like climbing the
Yeah.
trees.
Fisher
think that
caught
was
a frog that night.
Mhm.
I think that's the night that Mary, Beth, and I all decided to go in the hammock at the same time.
Okay, that was entirely off topic.
Anyway,
Sorry.
we're walking to the hallway. It's very short.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, so
Casita and I are high-fiving in the background because we don't have to duck.
the boy opens a door, one of the side doors off to your right, and steps back.
Hey kid, what's your name?
Name's Timothy.
Nice job. Okay.
Thank you.
Moving on.
You're going in, ain't you?
Yeah. I was moving on.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be out here if you need anything. Drinks.
What would we need?
Drinks, food,
Oh, I think we'll be all right for right now. Thank you, though.
extra blankets.
I'll pass.
All right.
I don't know.
Farewell.
We need to be extra cozy during this meeting.
Okay, so as you guys go in, do you close the door behind you or not?
Close the door behind us or not?
Can we look around first?
I was assuming.
All right,
What's
so
the room like?
Yeah.
Do we?
in the room, there is a bed pushed against one of the walls, a chest pushed up against under a window that is broken.
The window is broken or the chest is broken?
The window is broken.
Okay.
The chest looks very old. The wood appears to be basically dry rotting. Actually, probably in this environment, it's probably wet rotting. I take that back.
Is anybody in the room?
Not as far as you can tell. There's like sort of like basically there's just that, and there's like a nightstand that has 3 legs leaning against the bed. There's also a mirror. There's like a mirror, and it's not like a nice glass mirror. It's like a polished bronze mirror.
Is the nightstand supposed to have 3 legs?
Doesn't look like it. Mainly considering half of the 4th leg is hanging off of it.
Nex is getting slightly tired of the wild goose chase, so she's going to talk to Diaz.
Sure thing.
What are you doing?
I am right where have I always been, my friend.
No, that's not what I asked you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be on my way momentarily. If you'll excuse me for a moment. You hear a snap, and then all of a sudden, the blankets on the bed form up into a human figure wearing a mask. Hello,
Yeah,
my
we
friend.
definitely didn't want any more blankets.
Hello, my friends. How are you? The voice speaks to all of you.
Cool trick.
I thought
Thank
you were
you.
supposed to be here in person.
This is a person, is it not?
No.
So, tell me, how have you been, yeah? Fine. Let's all get rid of the civility. Who needs laws and constructs?
Wait, I
I
think...
was thinking before I answered. Have we been? Well, we nearly died multiple times on the way here. Sailing ships and all that. Inefficient, destructive sea monsters.
Yeah,
Alright.
Other than that,
our ship got
typically
destroyed.
normal.
Oh, I see. Your ship got destroyed. That is a shame.
You sound so torn up about
I
it.
am torn up about it. You are my best investment. Oh, do not snarl at me. Oh. Alrighty, so tell me, what do
Oh,
you
man.
need?
What do we need? What we came here for?
Yes, indeed. What? You wish to sign a contract for me, yes? If I can provide you with the body of Anathema and her playthings. See?
That was not the entire agreement.
What was
No.
the entire agreement then?
You owe us at this point in time. Give me a second to go back through the notes, please. Where did things... Okay. The original deal was we agreed to deal with the wizards to the best of our ability. We agreed to go to the Izamara, aka here, to enact said deal in the binding contract and pick materials up. We agreed for the duration of the wizard crisis in a period of 3 days after our return to Blackmoor not to work against each other in any way. You, Diaz, agreed to give us a truthful whole account of your knowledge of the wizards. 300,000 gold pieces, half before and half after the deed is done, Anathema's dead body and all her possessions, access to the library for Elverhere, and the anti-scrying thing.
Alright. First of all, I give you the body of Anathema. He opens, the bed sheet monster flips its hand.
Oh, no, that's just creepy.
And, the chest opens, and inside the chest there is a headless corpse, with things piled on top.
Big chest.
It is a big chest, with, it is a large chest, with various articles of clothing and such folded on top of it. Any questions?
Nexa.
Is it identifiable as Anathema's body?
I mean, it looks like Anathema to you.
Nexa, would you be
Yes.
able to use your lovely headband and tell us if there's any sort of magic on that thing?
Yep. Is there?
It's Anathema.
Kaz, if you wouldn't mind double checking.
Keswith does double check. There is no magic on the chest or on or on the body of Anathema.
Anything on the things in the chest?
Oh yes, there's magic on the things in the chest, definitely.
Okay. What do they look like they do?
They look like various magical items. Oh, also...
We know her cloak should be there.
I
Hopefully.
have some expertise as a policeman and identifying bodies and such. Can I check if there's any?
Would I be able to give him a hand as someone who kills people for a
Profession
living?
check with advantage. I like it. I'll take it. Alright, also, as you guys are doing this, outside the window, you hear whistling.
Can we
Is this-
see anything?
Oh, sorry,
Like what-
humming. You notice humming. And,
What does the humming sound like?
Oh,
ju-
you sucker!
just some dude humming.
Do I have a funny feeling?
You do have a funny feeling!
Get in here.
So, Mr.
Right knowing your reputation.
So, Mr. the Raven, as you're walking, as you're sneaking along from shadow to shadow, humming to yourself, all of a sudden you hear from a third-story window, "Get in here!"
Alright, I guess I'm gonna
Actually,
climb
see,
up.
I don't
and
know
go
if I'd
through
want him here.
Go ahead and make an acrobatics check, my dude.
I'd rather know where he is.
Or a climb check.
It's definitely gonna be acrobatics.
I know, like, when he's around, because it's like having a combination of an itch and a stomach ache at the same time, and also there's something in my brain that keeps being like, murder him! That I have to work really hard not to, like, follow, but
26.
it doesn't
Great.
26.
pinpoint accuracy. Sorry!
You shimmy up one of the stilts, hop off the windowsill, climb up by your fingernails, and sure enough, there is the Raven. In the room, you see Nexa, Casita, Vilcus, Kazaroth, a headless corpse in a box covered with things, and a pillow sheet monster.
Does the pillow sheet monster still have its foot on, like, or not foot, but like, is it still clear that the body is coming from the pillow sheet monster?
Come again?
Like Anathema's body, like, is it still clear that he tilted the box and dumped her out, basically?
Probably not. Probably not. Because, like, it's kind of like dumped it out, stepped back, so. it's so so you would not have seen that happen.
Okay. Can I piece anything together? Does it look like this is a peaceful meeting?
Well, you don't see any blood or any weapons drawn, so presumably.
Okay.
Presumably peaceful.
I look at the monster and start growling, but I don't do anything. I'm still just perched on the windowsill.
Make a
A
sense.
hideous flightless bird.
What was that?
Like a hideous flightless bird.
Also,
Yes.
as a quick out of character note,
Mm-hmm.
I would have easily beaten the roll that I needed for y'all to not know I was there, except this dice is screwing me over. This die is screwing me over, and I rolled a 4.
All right. So, things you notice. For those of you who are if anybody's paying attention, as soon as the Raven enters the room, Kazaroth is bristling, like very obviously bristling.
Hmm. Who would have been paying attention?
I'm gonna assume you, because you were close to her, because you were doing the investigation with her, with the magical investigation.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so it'd probably be just you noticing that, and also as soon as he starts growling, she starts growling.
Okay. Great.
Can I ID the corpse? Is it anathemas?
To your best guess, it's anathema. It's the right height. It's the right weight.
It's half elf.
It appears to be a half elf. I mean, half elf bodies.
Where's the head?
The head was needed for a private purpose. You see, on this island, it is considered highly improper to transport any dead without their heads. You see, there is belief that the head contains the soul, and if the head is not removed from the body, the soul will never rest in peace. You can ask.
Sense motive.
You can ask anybody.
Another natural 20. Holy crap.
In spite of himself, Diaz seems to be telling you the truth. That does seem to be a local custom.
Wasn't the deal? I know I don't know this, but wasn't the deal for Anathema's head, not just her body?
But you see, my friend, heads are disposed of. They are burned and then thrown into the ocean, as to give the spirit the reign to move wherever it likes on the sea winds.
And technically, the wording of our contract says the dead body of Anathema.
Okay.
We did not think of that.
Diaz, we came all this way to where you are. Why didn't you come to us in person?
Mainly because I wanted to try out this bed thing. How's it look? Yeah?
It looks lovely. Why aren't you actually here?
Because
Or perhaps a better question: could you actually come here, please? Now.
just then, you hear footsteps in the hall and opening the door. The door closed or open? Still open,
Crack
right?
open.
I don't
Yeah.
think we closed it, so.
Yeah, and stepping through the open door is a man with leather pants and a well-kept mane of hair. Hello, my
And
friend.
there's the Diaz we all know and love to hate.
Hello, my friends. Good to see you again. He's gonna clap whoever the closest person is on the back.
Who is that?
For his sake, I hope it's not you or Kazaroth.
Yeah.
If it's Casita, she's gonna try and dodge it.
It's let's see. Alright, so the chest is here. So you two did magic, and then they came in and physically investigated. So they'd be closest to there. The chest is by the window. The Raven would be near there. So it would be the three guys up here. So it'd either be Casita or Kazaroth.
Oh no.
I'll say for the heck of it, it's Casita.
Try and dodge that.
Go for it.
What do you want me to...
Reflex
Roll.
save.
Natural 20! Holy crap! That's 3 natural 20s in a row on this die!
You just duck as he sweeps towards you and misses entirely. He plays it off like a
Do not
clap.
touch me.
Very well, very well. So, what can I do for you?
Very high charisma.
Can I tell that he's actually here? Like this form?
Perception check. Maybe Arcana.
32 perception.
32 perception. I mean, he seems solid enough. He's like touching elements of the environment.
Well, but like, can I smell him?
You smell sulfur and cold, sort of a cold, sweet smell and sulfur.
Okay.
Okay. I want to walk up to him, be like, Admiral Diaz, good to see you, and shake his hand. Good to finally see you in person.
My friend.
And when we shake hands, I want to like kind of, you know that like when like someone squeezes your like hand when you're shaking hands, and it's kind of like they're crushing your hand, but not quite.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an intimidating, weird dominance thing.
Make a strength check.
No.
I already had that. That's a natural 20.
That's a 20. Diaz, being an ancient dragon, has a lot of strength. But natural 20 is better, so like even with his grip is vice-like, yours is just, you channel all the hatred you have reserved towards this one guy for the pain of people you love. And he wilts a little bit as you're shaking hands.
Lucas has been practicing the angry politician handshake.
Would this be like an intimidation thing?
I would say for the sake of the purpose, it's not an intimidation check, but he respects you a little bit more now. Oh, excuse me.
So many things it'd be good to talk about.
Yes. Namely, first, who are you?
My name is Admiral Diaz. And who are you, my friend? You are not part of the original deal. Is this man part of the contract now?
No.
Nope.
I am part of my own contract.
Fantastic.
He's gonna go sit over there and be quiet.
You remind me of something with bats? I do not know. Anyway, talk to me, young boy. He's like, he comes over, like, puts his arm around you. Tell me, what is your name? What is your business here?
No.
Alright, I cannot argue with a strong man. Alright.
Well, if you wanted to be making yourself better in Casita's eyes, I think you're succeeding.
Fantastical! Except I realize it's not directed at me. Never mind. Also, when did Diaz go full Italian?
No.
Well, Diaz, if we could perhaps get back to business here.
Indeed. What do you need from me?
We just told you.
Right, contracts.
Yes.
Money, anti-scrying stuff.
Right, anti-scrying stuff. Here, take this. He pulls out a pendant with a jade dragon at the end. Which one of you wants to wear this?
Does it work for the whole group or just the person wearing it?
Radius.
Yeah. How much?
160 feet, I believe.
I think Kaz should wear it.
Yeah.
She's usually in the middle of everything we're doing. Like, literally in the middle.
She's pretty central.
Thanks.
What is
Now
it?
you get fun magic jewelry too.
Yay.
What is it?
Before she puts it on,
Yes.
though, someone
Yeah, we
should make
should
sure
check
it's
it.
actually what he says it
That's
is.
what I was thinking.
So, you could make an appraise check, an arcana check, profession check.
Let me
even.
check
I mean, if you could justify it.
one or to both of those. I just need to figure out which one I have more to. Pages are
Sorry,
loading.
Diaz. It's just that we trust you roughly as far as Chessie could throw you.
Pretty good if she was dropping me off a ladder, no?
We're talking horizontal, not vertical.
Shame.
One second.
Jessie will never live down the ladder
No,
incident.
she won't.
Loading.
So what is this necklace supposed to be?
Anti-scrying.
Okay.
Protects everyone within the radius from the scrying magic of the wizards so they can't track us.
And you said we could do Arcana?
You could do Arcana? Yeah, you certainly could.
Okay.
I feel like Kazaroth would check it herself
21.
too.
21. She just did. She didn't roll that great. Between the two of you, it doesn't seem to be cursed.
Does it seem to do what he says it would do?
Yeah, it seems to be exactly that. As far as you can
Okay.
tell.
Later, we should check and make sure he hasn't built a back door into it for himself.
That's a good idea.
When you have more time, but
As you can see, I have delivered you a thing that would protect you from the scrying of the mages.
yeah.
That's part of it. Where's the rest?
What else are you looking for?
We just told you! Do you have short-term memory loss?
No.
Do you have some bags of gold in your pockets?
And a contract.
Okay, very well. The contract here, he produces it from inside his shirt. He pulls out a contract and hands it to you. Very well, and I have to tell you... No, he is not.
What was the question?
So does he wear an undershirt? I really hope so.
I feel like a dragon would not understand the intricacies of dressing.
Yeah.
Also, it's hot.
It is hot.
And he's wearing leather pants.
Yes,
Yes.
he is. It's hot, and he's wearing leather pants.
Can we look at the contract and see if it actually has the agreement on it correctly?
Yes.
Read your agreement aloud.
Yes, sir.
Also, do I see this contract?
You do.
Like, do I see the writing on it?
It depends on where you are. Do you want to try and see the writing?
Yes.
Sure, go for it. I'll say you can move in close enough.
Reading out the contract from our notes.
Yes.
We agreed to deal with the wizards to the best of our ability. We agreed to go to the Isla Mara to enact the deal and pick the materials up. We all agree for the duration of the wizard crisis in a period of 3 days after our return to Blackmoor not to work against each other in any way. Diaz agrees to give us a truthful whole account of his knowledge of the wizards, 100,000 gold pieces, half before and half after the deed is done, Anathema's dead body and all her possessions, access to his library forever here, and the anti-scrying object.
Alright. So
we've got the body and the object. We need the gold, the contract, and the knowledge, right?
Yes.
and you also
With
need
my
Anathema's toys. Which you
Yeah.
have.
Well, they're in the chest with her,
Yes.
aren't they?
with my repeated experience with contracts, does this whole thing look up to par?
Let's go shopping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Can we check? Can our magic users check to see if this is in fact a magically binding contract and to see if Diaz would have any way that he would be able to slither out of it?
Fairly certain Diaz can slither out of anything.
Alright, so you want to use your knowledge to see if you can slither out of this contract and if it's magically binding?
Yeah.
What skill?
I mean, I know this is probably not the kind of thing I would be able to do, but our
Right.
magic people would.
Alright.
It is. So.
Alright, sure. Kazaroth's gonna make an Arcana check on it. Harley, do you want to make one too, or give advantage?
Which is better? How did Kazaroth roll?
Let me see. You don't know. You can't know that until. So just call it ahead of time. Do you want to make your own? Basically,
Okay.
do you want her to make the check or you to make the check?
I mean, why don't we both make a check separately
All right, cool.
rather than just conferring about it? Because we'd just be kind of thinking. 20, not natural.
That's a 38. Kazaroth, after examining, she said, "There's nothing magical attached to it. I mean, it is magical. It's a magically bound contract. There's nothing magically extraneous about it, as far as I can tell."
Diaz himself?
What?
And Diaz himself? Does he have any magic that would allow him to nullify the binding part of the agreement?
Not as far as I can say or read, no.
Okay.
And
So
there's
magically binding contract, does that mean we can still break it but there's penalties, or like it magically prevents us from breaking it?
you can break it, but there's penalties.
Got
How
it.
bad?
What are the penalties?
Pretty gnarly. Banishment.
Is this like the your blood boils in your veins and you die kind, or
No, banishment to the Shadowfell.
Is that a nice place to vacation?
No, dear.
no? But when he escaped with anathema from the big fight, they opened a portal to the Shadowfell, which suggests he has a way of getting back.
Oh, lovely.
You have
Oh, that's nice.
one person who won't be a part of this contract. Can I walk over to Diaz and like not exactly give him a hug, but like come up from beside and do that like arm around the shoulders thing and like pull tight and say, "Walk with me, we've got words."
No. This is our meeting. Please stop.
You don't want to go through with this until you know for sure.
What?
Wait,
I
who is-
don't
who is he
know
talking to?
He's talking to Nexa. What are you doing, young man?
We disagree.
We? Who's we?
Who is we?
Oh, look at that. Emily just joined Roll20.
Huh.
And no, I'm totally not trying to get you guys to think about something else.
Uh-huh. So who is we? Hi, Emily.
This Diaz and I.
What do you want from me?
If you have something to say, you can say it in front of all of us.
For once, I agree
Very
with the
well.
bard.
Very well.
It's a little scary.
Your contract. I'm assuming I noticed his signature on it
Yes.
because I looked at the writing. Yeah. Okay. Your contract is already signed. That does not happen for a valid contract. If you cannot sign it in the presence of the other party, it's not binding.
I mean, that may be valid, but in a Temple of Terminus.
And
Oh.
how do we know that you signed it in the Temple of Terminus?
It is simply that this is finished. It simply says that it must be completed in a Temple of Terminus. You must complete the signing. So it did not say that I needed to write the contract or sign it myself in a Temple of Terminus, so long as it is confirmed in a Temple of Terminus.
Is that true?
Really? I'm not certain that was true.
Would any of us know that? Like, do any of us know how magical contracts work?
Yeah. What would I know
None
about
of us are
that?
especially religious.
No, but Casito deals in contracts as well.
Casita.
Yeah, and I think I would know.
Okay, so who has knowledge religion as a skill? Who has?
I do.
I do.
And to whom would it be relevant to have knowledge of contracts? That could be profession check, or even knowledge arcana would probably count for
They're
this.
both relevant for me.
Yeah. Okay. So make whichever check you want. So this would be basically if you have knowledge, or I say knowledge arcana, knowledge planes, knowledge religion.
It's gonna be a 24.
Alright, so Kazaroth's gonna make a knowledge planes check too.
I got a 28 for knowledge arcana.
Natural 1. Alright, so what were your rolls again?
24.
And
28.
28. Okay, so next you would know that generally it depends on where the contract is sealed. Not necessarily signed, but it is considered very bad form to not actually sign the contract in front of a priest or in a temple.
Okay.
So it's not. So it doesn't mean he wouldn't be under the contract, but it means like, why did you sign this ahead of time?
Is it considered questionable just in terms of being bad form, or questionable in terms of like it's usually sketchy if that happens?
Either or. It's kind.
Okay.
It's kind of just a general red flag.
Okay. Yes. I think that you need to come along to the temple with us and retry your signature again.
Very well. He produces a second contract from inside his shirt.
And just why were
How
you
much space
carrying
do you
two
have
of these?
inside of there? You keep like a bag of holding sewed to the inside of your shirt?
That's a brilliant idea.
a
Christina grabs her thread and starts to sew.
breast pocket of holding? I love that.
Nexa's latest,
He goes, I just wanted to see if you would sign the first one.
You were stupid.
Yeah, he does.
I do think you're stupid, no offense.
In all fairness, I might be.
He picks it up and he rolls it up. This one, both of these are magically binding. I just wanted to see which one you would take.
Can we check the other one as well?
Yep. Repeating the same check. It's just as magically binding with no other weird stuff as before,
Does it say the same things?
as far as you can tell.
Okay.
No other extraneous magic?
Nope, no other extraneous magics.
Cool.
Kira is asking if the shirt can be thrown into the deal.
What?
She's asking what?
She's asking
Kira
what?
Kira is asking if Diaz's shirt can be thrown into the deal.
We desperately need a breast pocket of binding, guys.
Anything that Diaz has worn, I'm just.
Yeah, nope.
So anathema rules apply to her boss.
It's not like we're not going to use her equipment because it's good stuff.
Yes.
But...
Oh, do you want to know what you got?
Yes.
Please tell me we got the cloak of Bamfing.
Okay, so you guys have.
Better have gotten the cloak of Bamfing. That's the whole point of this.
So on her person, you get +2 studded leather armor.
Okay.
The broken
Right.
crown.
The what?
The broken crown
Okay.
that she was wearing. You get a black bracelet. You get a black bracelet with faint transmutation magic.
Can anybody with magic try and identify these?
Yeah. You could use appraise on this,
Okay.
or she wore armor. I didn't say she wore much armor, but she wore armor.
Appraise or what?
Appraise or arcana.
Okay. Is this one check for each item or just one check total?
This would be 2 checks. There are 2 checks that you'd have to make. One for this item, one for a later item.
Oh, I rolled not good.
Can Kazaroth make them for Arcana?
She can make them for arcana. First one, natural 20.
Hey.
Second one is, second one's up into the mid-30s.
I got a 16 and an 18.
Okay.
All right.
So
What are
I'm
we
sorry,
looking at?
I'm still stuck on the fact that she somehow managed to fit armor in and among the lingerie.
It's lingerie armor.
yes, it is.
It's like Drow Matron Mother armor.
It is.
That's
It's super
disturbing.
revealing plate armor.
If anybody's interested.
No one wants that.
Okay.
Burn it.
So there's a black bracelet that has faint transmutation magic. Basically, you can use this for an hour each day to turn into a tiny animal of your choice.
Ooh.
That sounds kind of fun.
Does that include ravens?
I think ravens are small, not tiny.
Dang.
All right, that's the black bracelet.
1,000 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Nice.
Can Nexa pocket those?
Yes.
I just put it into the group loot.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a third roll you should make too.
Okay.
What else are we looking at?
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. So, the second thing Kazaroth identifies as it's a +2 rapier of cold.
Ooh. Where's... We not have a weapon. Ah, there we go.
And the final thing, and Nexa, once you touch this isn't just an enchanted item. This is an enchanted item with a name. This is the Cape of the Mountebank. Okay.
Cape of the mountain.
Mountebank is a scoundrel, a rapscallion, a highwayman, a something along those lines.
We have such a dearth of magic items in our group.
Okay, so
We do have a dearth of magic items in our group.
this is a cape. If I remember correctly, I remember it is a black cape. If I remember correctly, or black and purple from my description of it earlier. This allows the wearer to use the Dimension Door spell 3 times a day.
Oh,
I think this should go to Vilkas.
Yeah, I like it.
He's a frontline fighter. I mean, there's not a ton of us who are frontline fighters, and I'm already pretty mobile.
You can bamf without bamfing.
Next level, I can bamf with bamfing.
Ooh la la! Bamf without bamfing, bamf with bamfing.
Emily raises a good point
Elizabeth
here,
said, do
though.
we want Kaz to have the Bamf cape so she can be not so squishy?
She's not that squishy.
She isn't squishy, is she? She wears plate armor.
Her armor class is not great, though. Her armor class is only 20.
She wears plate and her armor class is only 20?
Yeah. She's a klutz. You know this, Vilkas. You've lived with her for 2 years.
She almost always goes down.
She does almost always go down. Like, every time. It's because she's not as tanky as the front liner, but she always has to play the front lines. A Bamfi Cloak could be good for her. Can she actually learn Dimension Door on her own, though?
Believe
like-
she can. Actually, she might
Yeah,
already
she
have
could already-
Dimension Door.
She could possibly already do the things this cloak is giving her.
Let us find out, shall we?
Plus, I think it'd be really cool to be a teleporting Vilkas.
Teleporting Vilkas would be glorious.
Yeah,
Not for me, but for, everybody else.
for the rest of us.
The rest of
Can I just generally check all of this stuff for anything trap-like?
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
That's a good idea.
So you'd be checking for
I
physical
just
traps.
picture the first time Vilkas tries to use the cloak, he gets stuck in the other dimension.
Nexa, go for it. Nexa, you're going to want to do an Arcana check, I think, for this, too.
For what?
Okay.
Just looking for any kind of, magical traps.
I have
Wait.
trap finding.
Okay.
I also prefer trap finding.
She can learn Dimension Door.
Are we doing? Is this trap finding, Andrew?
Are you looking for physical traps or magical traps?
I'm looking for physical traps.
Because I have a plus 22 to trap finding.
Trap finding applies to magical traps, if I remember correctly. Right?
Okay, in which case 25, because I rolled a 3.
Tasha.
Hmm?
Trap finding applies to magical traps too, right?
For rogues, yes.
Oh, and guess what? Harley, you are one of those! So you can check for magical traps for
Yeah.
25. Nothing appears to be magically trapped. Nothing appears to be physically trapped.
Cool.
Certainly in 3.5, rogues are exclusively the class who are able to detect magical traps.
I remember that being the case. I thought I remember that being a case, but I'm not entirely.
It is.
But Alright, so, very well. Should we proceed to the Shrine of Terminus?
The
You
money.
still owe us information.
What?
You still
The
owe us
money?
information.
Oh, yes,
The
I
money.
do, my friend.
Knowledge.
So, right.
Harley's bringing up the money.
Okay, so the money.
Next is gonna hold her hand out like I'm waiting for the bags of money, please.
I do not have the money on me. The money is being delivered to
No.
your inn right now.
It was more of a symbolic gesture rather than I actually expect to hold this all in one
He
hand.
shakes your
Money's
hand.
being delivered again. Okay.
He shakes your hand as you reach out.
You should use your message spell. The message.
Yeah, it's a.
Make sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna double
Is there
check
range
how
on
that
your
works.
message spell?
If not, I can
That's what
ban
I'm
people.
checking for. Actually, why don't you use the way I don't use up a spell? Also, it's gonna be slow. And I think
Yeah,
the message does.
I'll use a little scrap of my Banthy paper.
Okay, so you're writing back to Triss and Eliseth.
Yeah.
So you do, and sure enough, Triss and Eliseth, as you're sitting at the bar having a quiet evening, chatting
We're getting mugged because 150,000 gold just got delivered to us.
whittling, all of a sudden, a bunch of people in dark clothes carrying chests just start walking through the door and handing you chests, going back out, coming back in, just piling chests at your table.
Okay, so when they first come in, I'm gonna prep my bow and then look really confused and then peek in the chests
They are
to make sure there's not bodies.
they are filled to the brim with gold.
Can I
Why
put
did
this into the
man
group
not
loop?
use platinum?
Actually, most of it is silver, so there's way more chests than you thought there would be, because most of it is silver.
Does anyone want to start rolling to take them to the bank?
10 silver to 1 gold.
Oh my word!
Does anybody have any of those paper rolls to start rolling them and take them to the bank?
Yeah.
1,500,000. No.
Yeah, is there a bank
What?
that works
1,500,000 silver.
be a part of?
Basically, DM, can I put this into the group loop?
Yes.
Also, they're putting these on the table in like the common area of the hotel.
They're bringing in chests and just handing them off to...
Guys, we have so much money now.
I'm gonna put them in our room.
Yeah. So it's...
Yeah, Eliseth and Triss trudging up and down and up and down.
Basically, you and the dark cloak guys just make a conveyor belt from a horse cart outside up to your room. And people are just sitting there going...
If it's all in
I
silver,
am
that's
not-
roughly 46 tons of silver.
I'm not prepared for
You
this.
can only push like what 3.7.
46 tons of silver.
That...
Why? Why would you do this to us? I'm gonna write on the vamp paper. Why did you not ask for platinum?
So, as you're putting
Does
this...
next to any know really clever ways to like transport large amounts of money? I feel like she would.
You would have some time to figure it out. After a while, Eliseth, make a perception check.
Oh god. Hang on. Where am I going?
Oh no.
Is there one missing?
Manic cackling, Andrew, does not inspire confidence.
35.
35. Just in the nick of time, you go, oh crap, and you jump out of the room as the floor gives way under 46 tons of silver. Everybody does a shit.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I feel like he would have been intelligent to make these like chests of holding or something.
Nope, it's
Yeah, like,
just straight.
Oh, wait a minute. If the floor of the inn went down, they shouldn't have been able to transport it in a wagon.
Silver diner.
Is that what you think?
Several wagons. I don't know. I don't care.
The wagon.
I'm
as
done
you,
dealing
as you
with
look out,
Be sure to tip your chest
as you
transporters.
look out the window, Eliseth, your perception check is still 35, right?
Yeah.
You see that the cart is glowing like a greenish color, and the horses are fully hooded, like as in like they're fully cloaked.
Great. I'm gonna grab one of the dark cloak guys. Can we borrow that wagon sometime? Like when we leave?
I will see what I can do. He turns
Thanks.
around and walks out the door.
Great.
Okay,
I'm
so
going to apologize profusely to what's her face, Judith.
Mrs. Whipple arrives home just to find her auxiliary dining room just covered in chests and silver pieces.
We'll pay
No,
for it.
no. The chests were latched.
No, the chests are fine. The silver pieces aren't scattered. Just chests and debris. And
Don't do that to Emily.
I'm not. The tabaxi to the end of the bar is still loudly declaring that he is disturbed.
He's still there?
Yes!
This man is a drunk.
A disturbed drunk.
Why does that sound like a really bad band name, The Disturbed Drunks?
So we have 154 cubic feet of silver.
Assuming each chest is roughly 2 to 3 cubic feet, that's a lot of chests.
Yeah.
That's like between 50 and 70 chests.
Right! We are going to bill you for the floor and get your things moved into the basement.
I think we can afford it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry.
Interestingly enough, it's only
I'm sorry.
4.39 meters.
We'll pay for it. Yeah.
Very well, and already, like, the dining room floor is groaning, and you guys just like, no, basically,
We'll move it right away.
so you guys just start scooping it and running up and downstairs. You guys are very tired by the time you're done.
No. If the dining room floor is already groaning, then it would have collapsed under the impulse force of all of it falling the distance already.
Yeah.
Fine.
Are you really making us destroy an inn, Andrew?
The dining room floor is metaphorically groaning.
To put it into perspective, that's only 4.39 cubic meters.
Only. 4.39 cubic meters is like probably the full volume of a normal bedroom.
Yeah, hang on. We have a bedroom full of golden chests. How does it even fit? This makes no sense at all!
Here's the thing. I want to give Nexa the opportunity before this campaign ends to go full Scrooge McDuck into some coins. And this is the easiest way to do that.
Yeah, the bright side of it is we could literally dive into a room full of coins.
You have to break your neck on a solid brick of silver.
Oh, man.
Meanwhile, back to contract negotiations.
Anyway, yes. So we need the knowledge now.
Very well. Where would you like me to start?
From the beginning.
So, when the world was created, some people were made big, some people were made small, some people were...
You know what we
Diaz?
mean.
Humor me.
Yes, I'm starting to think that you have ADHD or something. I know you don't know what that is, but...
I will leave that joke alone. Moving forward.
He's all over the place.
So ADHD instead of 4K HD?
Was it? No. Moving along. Diaz explains to you that he knows about how the mages, he discusses to you about how Malambard at one time there was a royal city on Malambard that used to be part of Ionis, or it was at least half of Ionis before Ionis became one country. Anyway, this city in Ionis was it was destroyed by a volcano, but this city was known for its mastery of magic. The name of this city was Mildrum. Mildrum was the name of this city, and basically when the volcano exploded, it wiped out the city of Mildrum. But after that, a powerful mage moved in to the ruins of Mildrum. And this mage, nobody knows his true name. Most people just called him the Night Master. And the Night Master was a necromancer.
Lovely.
And basically, he blighted the entire island in his attempt to become a lich. He failed to become a lich and was destroyed. However, many years after the Night Master died, another mage, a mage from the Empire, tried to basically use the magical reservoir left at that place to summon creatures from the abyss in order to overthrow the Empire. He had been a politician at one point and had been apparently wronged, he felt, by the Emperor, and wished to take his revenge on the Empire with creatures from the abyss. However,
How long ago was this?
recently, as in your lifetimes. In your lifetimes.
That meaning in the lifetime of the oldest member of the party?
Let's see,
Or the lifetime of the average member of the party?
how old are you, Nexa?
Nexa is 41 now.
41. So in your lifetime, probably a little bit older. This would be Kazaroth and Vilcus. It'd probably be not within your lifetimes. Or you, Casita. Like, tieflings. Like, how old are you as a tiefling?
Casita's... I think she's 25, although she doesn't know that.
Okay, so Casita, Vilcus, Kazaroth would not know this. Or would they not have been alive for this. I don't know about the Raven.
25 to 26.
Yeah.
The Raven is about 32.
Okay, so the Raven might have been alive for this. Definitely the two elves are. The two part elf people would have been alive for this.
Okay.
Sure. This is just a thing. Emily. Gabrielle messaged you, and she said that as long as you guys are alone, she would like to talk to you about Diaz. So if you have any information about that, go ahead and hit her up. Okay, so you're welcome. So he kind of describes this guy also failed. There was a brief rift between the Abyss and the material plane in Malambard. There was a group of.
Vilcus would like to know what the Abyss is.
Does Vilcus know what the Abyss is?
I can answer that.
The Abyss is a place of torment and death and chaos and awfulness. It's where demons come from.
It's basically
It's like Earth, but where demons
of
come
the
from.
hells. Think of the worst thing you possibly can, and it's basically that.
Wait, did Casita just mention the Hells?
Yes.
Like
That was
out loud?
Tasha, but
So Casita did not in her explanation?
no, Casita would probably have explained the abyss with the clarity of somebody who lived there for most of their life.
Okay.
It's a vividly nasty place. Anyway, he describes that these people that were hired, they eventually went in. They found the mage who tried. He had survived his attempt to summon these creatures. He had survived his attempt. His attempt had failed. But they assassinated him, and they assassinated one of the creatures that he was trying to summon. And essentially came back. They actually went into the abyss and then came back. That is his knowledge, and he says that it recently, people have tried to set up camp there again. Mages have tried to take advantage of the same dark pool of magical energy there.
How well did they succeed?
This is the one part where he's a little foggy. He doesn't know. He doesn't know how far along they are. He knows they're far along, but he doesn't know how far along.
And is this the same group that was there 20 odd years ago?
We think they are trying to accomplish the same thing.
But it's not the same people.
Well, I doubt, because the leader of that other group was killed.
And who was that?
It was a man named Simon.
He was killed.
Yes.
Mars is present still on the island.
Does that match up with what I'm aware of?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't go directly against anything, you know.
Okay.
So was the island uninhabited after he was killed 20-some years ago?
I think some of his people might have survived.
Okay.
So,
Do you know anything of what these people's plans might look like on a practical level?
I believe it is to summon creatures from the abyss, creatures that are strong, but not too strong for them to control. That was Simon's mistake, you see. He summoned something too strong, saying that had he brought it over, would have destroyed him, saying that it was able to. Emily, Gabrielle is going to. Gabrielle's asking if you could make sure that the stuff about Diaz is public, if that's all right. Cool. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. All right. So,
Do you know exactly what he summoned?
I believe some sort of pit fiend. He failed. Or at least...
Fiends are devils.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I don't remember what kind of demon he tried to say. That's right, what am I saying?
At the mention
human
of
equivalent would be a Baylor.
Yes.
At the mention of pit fiends, like a gob of slightly bloody spit hits the ground.
Okay, that is just charming.
Dude, you've got blood in your spit. You might want to get that checked out.
I growl a little bit.
Well,
Snarl
nuts
shows
of
some teeth.
blood or something?
He can go nuts in the club.
So anyway, how did you end up in contact with these people?
Let's just say we had mutual interest in the magical reserves of Banambard. I wish to use it to train the young mages, to use them to protect the glory of the Empire from the Ionian dogs and the High Elves. I see a new age. Listen to me when I speak to you of the glory that will come. A new age. The Empire will go down in history, its power and its might. No one will ever need to suffer again. Think of what we could do. Think of the lands we could conquer. There are lands across the sea. We could settle in those lands. We could bring the lands back to their glory. We could find the Isle of the Dawn. We could step beyond this planar prison that we live in. Do you think magic
Yeah, tried that already. Wasn't a great fan.
Do you think that this world will always be the same as it is now? Do you think magic will always be this rich?
I completely lost what's going on. Why are we talking about future of the Empire?
Because Diaz has a great vision for the future that he wants to create, and no one really cares.
Yeah.
Sorry to trample on your dreams. I just kind of lost track of what was going on.
Join with me. He finishes his speech.
With all due respect,
Aren't you supposed to invite me
No.
to strike you down first? Because I'm okay with that.
No, you fool. We are in this together.
I was, never mind.
So can we get back to the bit where you actually transferred, like...
Yes?
Go ahead, Harley.
I just said terminus?
All right, very well.
Get back to the point where you transferred useful information about the people who are there now.
Very well, okay. They are led by a man named Jebus.
Oh,
He spits.
Yeah.
He
That
is
Jabez,
a tricky one. He has many disciples. They are allegedly called the 5 Stars.
little dramatic, don't you think?
That is what they are calling themselves. I am not the dramatic one. They are the dramatic ones.
I mean, I wasn't implying that. I was just saying it was dramatic.
Mhm. Do not test the wrath of the dragon.
It was just a statement.
Statements are the backbone of language.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's kind of how talking
talking
works.
about the wizards.
The wizards are the backbone of evil.
Yes,
Yes,
focus. Look at me.
this is going off the
You were
rails.
saying Jabez,
Right,
5
Jabez.
stars.
Yes, Jabez and the 5 Stars.
They've got a really great hotel.
They have no hotels. There's no hospitality, only death. In the burnt out city of Mildrim, in the emptied out hollow place where the caldera of the volcano, that is where their laboratory is located. That is where you must go and slay them in their honor.
So there's only 6 of them.
6 of them, see?
Not. We're going all this way to kill 6 people.
There's 6 of the most powerful mages in the world. 6 of them. All 6 of the most powerful mages in the world in one place, all trying to do evil to our empire.
And you told us to go
6 of
meet
them
with
and whatever things they
Jabez.
summoned.
I knew that you would only attack if you saw the evil of Jabez in action, and you have seen it.
I really don't think that helped you at all.
Aside from giving Diaz advice on how to recruit groups of adventurers in the future,
What is he doing in Taya? Clearly, what he told us was a complete load of Chimera shit, but do you actually know why he was there?
I believe I know. I believe he wished to sabotage. Suddenly got very French.
Romance language accents are hard not to, like, switch between them.
Alright, I am Diaz again. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I believe he was there to sabotage one of the court mages. Perhaps of Taya. Perhaps of Blackmore. Perhaps of Carneric. Perhaps of Elazara, lovely city. You have never been there.
You told us they would attack us in the narrow days.
I had believed so, but their encounter with you changed their plans. I have somebody on the inside.
And that is who?
Tell us who that is.
It is one of the ones who keeps house for them.
Could you be a bit more specific?
Alright. If you must know, there is a man who they keep with them. He does both the cooking and the cleaning for these wizards as they travel. He is a well-paid servant, but I pay him better.
okay, so you're bribing a servant.
So, just to be clear,
Yes.
there are a total of 7 people on this island.
Oh,
6 wizards and a servant.
there are 6 wizards. How many servants? I do not know. I do not believe more than 3.
There's not a bunch of, like, underling wizards?
Oh, I'm sure there are underling wizards. I'm mainly talking about the 5 stars and Jabez.
Right. Do you know how much they've been able to summon so far? Any
I
True
believe
estimate?
I believe they are still constructing the portal.
Okay.
Okay. How
Good to
long do
know.
you think until their portal is done?
could be days, could be months. No more than 5 months is what he tells me, the servant, from overhearing the underling wizards. There are underling wizards, obviously, or did I not mention that yet?
Not really. Can you give us
Okay.
an idea of how many?
Okay, my guess is there are at maximum 30 people on the island. At minimum, about 15.
This is wizards only or wizards and servants?
Wizards and servants.
Okay.
That does not count the undead.
And what kind of
We
undead
are
are we
really
looking at?
like, got it.
I do not know. They were the man describes to me that there are skeletons, zombies, and some strange skinless men.
That sounds creepy.
Sounds lovely.
Cool. Are we at the Shrine of Terminus?
He can be.
Cool. Let's be.
Okay, so he leads you down a couple back alleys to. It's not a temple. There is a basin of water with a little fountain going into it with a small picture of Terminus carved in relief down like a back alley with 2 palm trees meeting over it. And there is a guy in like very dilapidated clerical robes just kind of sitting there with a book.
You know, this is as to like a shrine or temple that's normal as an elopement is to a wedding.
Yes, exactly.
But they're both legally binding.
Yes, they are. They are both legally binding. And you will have more than 2 witnesses. Alright.
Kira says Jabez and the 5 Stars, the indie band.
So this guy looks up, and as he looks up, you see like this big book of like scripture and contracts. Just like you see, just like a smaller book slides out from inside of it as you approach. He like very rapidly like kind of like shoves the smaller one under the bigger one and puts them both aside. What can I do for you?
Do you always stay at your shrine until midnight?
Only when he pays me to.
Nice. Way to think ahead. Nice going, Diaz.
I try my best.
Well, we need this signed, sealed, and binding.
Diaz loves him some Diaz. So you guys gather around, and which of you will be signing, or will it be all of you? That was meant
Can
to
we
be,
sign for like the group?
That was meant to be asked as the priest, not Diaz. Hello.
I think it makes sense if each of us signs, each
That's
of us is
what
bound.
I thought.
Then are Eliseth and Cassida bound?
Oh, okay.
Eliseth and Triss.
So who signs for the group then? Who's like group?
I'll sign.
Eliseth would like to intimate that at some point she made it clear that she does not want to be attached to this contract.
Oh.
Okay.
Would we know that already
Yes.
from our time? Okay.
I'll say that she made that clear before you guys left.
Sounds good to me. We can sign it for Bedlam, and then, I mean, technically anyone can leave or join Bedlam whenever. We don't exactly have a contract about who's part of Bedlam.
Yeah.
So,
Honeybear? Kazaroth interrupts. Sign.
Yeah?
Have everybody sign individually, and then sign. Triss works for us, doesn't she?
Does Triss work for us?
I think she does.
You guys don't know who's on your payroll?
I mean,
It's a problem we have it when we have
I
this.
hired Diaz accidentally.
You did accidentally hire Diaz.
Oh,
Keeping
dear.
track of my employees is not my strong suit.
How can we
Clearly.
how can we get Triss without getting LSF?
If we just sign for Bedlam, doesn't that take care of the problems?
Bedlam minus LSF?
Well, Bedlam.
LSF could leave Bedlam if she doesn't want to be bound.
All non-elven,
Bedlam.
all non-wood elven members of Bedlam.
I mean, technically, Nexa is part Wood Elf.
Let's just all sign.
All
we'll convince Triss to
non-elven
do it.
members of Bedlam.
That would get rid of Elver here too.
Yeah, well, everyone here
Elver
already
left.
left.
All right, non-full elven members of Bedlam.
But
Let's
Elmer here
just
does
say-
still
say-
want his access to the library.
Over here, ooh. It didn't say that. Regardless, as long as they fulfill your end, it didn't say in the contract that you had to be a part of Bedlam. It gives your specific name as allowed access to the library, as long as the contract is in effect. So I'd assume you were in the clear.
Yeah.
Is that a reasonable interpretation?
Sure.
Seems good to me.
So it is signed. Who's doing the signing?
I think Vilka said he was
Yeah.
going to.
Yeah, I'll sign it.
All right, Vilkas, go ahead and sign it. Sign it for the non-elven. It is signed, and you see the contract glow white,
Ooh, fun.
and then roll into itself.
Do we feel anything? Do we see any effects on us?
Not really. No.
Okay.
You feel an overwhelming sense of duty.
Interesting. If anyone wants to take a trip to another plane, stick a knife through DS.
Take a knife. All right, I'm going to
Vacation to the Shadowfell? Just stick a knife in your allies.
just stick a knife in your allies. Vacation to the channel.
All right, is that everything then? Is that everything
Has
figured out?
Diaz signed it as well?
Diaz signs it as well. All right. Well, thank you for agreeing to the contract.
I want to walk over to Diaz,
See.
lean in really close to like whisper in his ear, but hold the point of one of my kunai under the base of his skull.
What are you doing?
And I'm going to hiss in his ear. My contract. I'm not going to do the hissing because my microphone will get really bad. But I'm going to hiss in his ear. My contract says that I am to protect these people at all costs. And should I fail to avenge them, by signing this contract, you've just put your neck on the line. If you're holding anything back and they die, so will you. And then I'm just gonna like take a few steps back.
Very well. Diaz is going to take several steps away from the group, and he will just sort of smile. Address you
Before
all.
you go,
What? Yes.
before you go, I have a question I'd like to ask. Milk is gonna walk a little closer. So, how good's your memory?
My memory is as perfect as could be achieved by a mortal.
Good, good. So you recall destroying an elven village in the north a little while ago?
Ah, yes, Kareth.
Does Nexa recognize that name?
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of important to me that I figure out why you did that.
They stole from my property. They stole from my land. They stole from my treasure.
They like a thief came in and stole from you,
Indeed.
so you destroyed the whole village.
Yes. Do you not believe, O Jarl, that justice must come with a strong hand? Or paw, rather.
Oh, I believe in justice. I just destroying a village because someone stole from you doesn't seem equivalent.
When it comes to matters of might, not all of us are born to be equal. You became a noble by merit, not by birth. You see things from the perspective of the little man, the common man, the man who wanders about the street, wondering about, how are my pants staying upright? The man who is wondering, what should I have for dinner tonight? Not the man who is contemplating the fate of the universe.
Thanks.
Who would
Any
track this thief to chaos? Who was this thief?
Who was this thief? There are many thieves.
And you tracked them all to this one village?
Indeed I did. There are many who came down and took the gold from my mines. There are many who came down and found the remnants of my hoard and took it back and sold it for profit. They ate my animals. They chopped down my woods. Those animals and those woods are how I ate when I arose from my slumber. They used my magic to cast their spells.
Did they know specifically that they were yours?
Did they not read the great old magics, the great old poems? Anybody can
some
read
people
those.
don't do that.
Then how is that my fault that they have not read the laws when entering a new place?
I get it.
So you killed every person in the village, including the innocents and the children?
I destroyed the municipality.
One more question about our contract.
Yes.
You said you weren't doing this because the wizards had some way to control you if they could find you.
Indeed.
How does this not apply to us?
Do you think they wasted your time with you?
You said they would come for us when they attacked the Empire, so clearly they see us as some kind of threat. I ask again, how does this not apply to us?
A magically bound item.
And that is?
It is specifically meant to control dragons. They are using it to control one dragon. They can easily use it to control
Varandia?
Is it?
I shall not speak his name, but you speak the truth.
I thought you said you didn't know where he was.
I don't. I know that he is controlled.
Interesting. Does it work on half dragons?
Not as far as I know.
That's good. Okay.
If you have any other questions, please contact anybody in my retinue or talk to me specifically.
Okay.
Yep. Look forward to seeing you next time. It's been a genuine pain doing business with you.
And with that, Diaz will wave his arms and disappear in a cloud of smoke.
Vilcus, did you take the Bamfi cloak?
Took it for the moment anyway. Like, it's not, like, bound to me as far as I know, but...
If so, I'm just going to take it out of the loot, the group loot.
Yeah. You can take it out of the group loot. I'll carry it for now. I mean, if it makes sense to have it, that's fine. But
does anybody want the +2 studded leather?
Nah, I gave up.
It is...
Emily, you want it?
I think that would be helpful.
Okay.
I'm taking it out of the group loot.
It is specifically styled for anathema. That is something that we established before you showed up.
Oh. Does it fit me?
Oh, it's magical armor. Magical armor fits everybody, but it maintains its style, which is, I believe that's in the rules. I know that sounds really creepy, but it is in the rules.
I could wear like a jerkin over top of it.
You most certainly could.
Yeah.
Does anybody want the black bracelet that allows you to turn into a tiny animal once for an hour per day?
I mean, the Raven totally wants that, but he can't say anything, so.
What was that, Harley?
Not opposed to that.
Okay. You
Are
want
we-
to take it?
Are we gonna see a resurrection of Batlin?
Yes!
The
Batlin! The fire-breathing bat!
I can't breathe fire, and I'm not mom this time.
But wait.
Yeah.
Wait, if she can turn into a bat with it, why wouldn't I be able to turn into a raven?
That
No,
is
it was her old character.
That was a reference.
No, I
to-
remember.
Also, bats
There-
are like
I was gonna say,
This,
like, there are some bats
ravens
that
are
are
like
really
this.
tiny.
okay. I'm looking it up. A raven. A raven is a tiny animal. So yes, you could turn into a raven. I'm sorry, I thought it was a small animal. I lied.
I'm
Yay.
gonna ask to borrow it.
All right, Harley, I'm taking it out of the group loop. Put it into your own stuff, okay?
Okay.
And out of curiosity, a common bat is a diminutive animal. So turn into that too.
Cool.
All right, so
All right, so I'll let you guys. You guys want to head back to the tavern?
what was the name of the
Yeah.
cloak? It's the cloak of the something.
Cloak of the Mountebank.
Nexa,
Yes.
question for you.
Yeah.
Your grandfather is probably dead and possibly undead. What are you? Are you okay about that?
About what?
Bit.
The whole glorious package?
No.
Is there anything I can do to help?
No.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, no. Not too happy about it. But I mean,
All right,
sometimes you just have to deal with life.
I'm gonna give you guys a minute to discuss, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you all gone back to the hotel? The inn, whatever?
On the walk back, Nexa wants to ask Vilkas a question.
Oh, mhm.
She wants to ask how you knew about Kjarth, or however you pronounce it.
From talking to Eliseth.
Okay. Why did she know about it? Is she from there?
Yeah, she's a survivor of Kjarth. And so I was trying to figure out because, well, after I learned that that had happened, it was affecting my priority list of how dangerous to the Empire Diaz was. So I wanted to know what his reasoning was for destroying a town and whether or not I should put him at the top of the priority list of mobilize Imperial resources to kill him as soon as this is done.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, LSS sounded kind of happy about the idea of getting to slaughter him. And I can't say I'm personally opposed. Once the wizards are dealt with.
I'm just not sure how we kill something that can teleport when he needs to. Because he obviously can. That's how we got away the last time we were fighting him. But I'm sure there's lots of smart people in the Empire who can figure it out. I just have to convince them.
Kill him fast enough, maybe? We'll have to see.
Hit him hard, hit him fast.
Take out his wings.
Harley, when does Nexa want to have that conversation with Eliseth?
I was figuring when they have downtime, my thought was sometime on the boat, but if there's a significant period of downtime before then, now she has another, even more pressing reason to ask her.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
whenever there's downtime.
Okay.
But we can always
I mean,
Sorry.
no.
we can always do that out of the downtime and then
Yeah.
just kind of insert it when it needs to be.
Relevant.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put this out there. Kira just messaged me. If we kill the wizards, we might get the dragon control thing.
That's a good idea. And then
That-
we can just have him sit there while we kill
Yeah.
him.
Somehow I doubt our DM will be happy with us doing that, but he doesn't have to know.
No.
Unless he rewatches this episode.
I doubt he'll do that.
I do. I go back to check if I missed anything important or... Our little secret.
Hello. Alright, have you made it back to the inn yet?
Presumably.
Guys,
Yes?
we have a slight issue. And Eliseth is going to point to the giant piles of chests.
Hello?
What?
What I think it is?
Yes. I'm not quite sure what to do with it, and I
Bag of holding!
Nexa wants to go look at it.
Ceiling.
How much do we owe for the ceiling?
That will be determined later. She looks pretty mad.
Nexa's gonna talk to her for a second. But
It's beautiful. It's
what is
beautiful.
her name again?
Judith
Judith.
Whipple.
Whipple. Okay. I keep thinking other things. I don't remember what I thought last time. This time all I could think of was strudel.
Scroodle.
Judith
Please make a
Strudel.
character with the
Last time-
surname Strudel in this campaign,
Last
DM.
time I thought it was Tuttle.
Tunnel.
Not-
Judith. Well, you see, she has been married several times, so it's Judith Strudel Tunnel Whipple.
Okay. Mrs. Whipple,
Yes.
I am so sorry for the damage that we've caused to your property. I know this must not be good for business, and I totally understand that it's a huge inconvenience.
No, our best customer is disturbed. She points to the tabaxi.
If I may comment, I do believe he was like that before.
I am disturbed by that comment. You hear from across the room.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
But, Mrs. Whipple, we will be sure to, Eliseth told her that she'd said she'd pay for it, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Multiple times.
Nex is actually going to agree with you on that one, that considering the vast sum, it makes sense to... We'll cover the repairs,
See what you
And-
do.
all of that, and maybe get some flowers for the tables.
We could buy the tavern.
And I'll make sure your disturbed customer is still loyal.
What was that?
In the meantime, to make up for it.
Very well. Alright, so I'm gonna go back there and do some work. Thank you for your patronage. And
You're welcome.
after she leaves, the big guy with the hand tattoo is gonna walk over to you. So, here's this, Admiral Diaz has some business with you.
Mm-hmm.
Who told you that?
I believe that's your business.
Diaz himself. Perhaps I might introduce myself.
And who are you?
Captain Jedediah Skinner. He,
Oh, great! Another captain
he-
recommended by someone else.
he reaches out his hand to shake.
I'll shake his hand.
He shakes your hand. He's got a good grip. I have a ship that has been chartered by Admiral Diaz to take you all to Malambard faster than a normal ship would. The ship is magical.
Does he seem to be telling the truth?
Sense motive. Crap. 20 total.
As a matter of fact, he does. Based on the 20.
Any odd strings attached? Probably not with the 20, but
Not that you can tell.
Sorry, 1 second. Um, 24.
Seems to be honest. Seems to be
Okay.
straight with you. Right, so, look, my boat, it's magical. It was designed by Diaz himself. It only takes a very weak crew to run it.
Is it to take us there or there and back?
I'm assuming you defeat them there and back.
Just checking.
So have you been let in on what the purpose of our trip is?
I know the people who want to destroy the Empire down there, and the Empire's not a thing that should be destroyed. Swindled a bit, I don't mind, but destroyed, it's a bit harsh for my taste.
Right. So long as you can make money from it, you still want it around. Okay. What's the capacity of your ship? Is it going to be ready tomorrow?
I can have it ready
Is
tomorrow.
everything we need?
Indeed I can. Let me tell you, the Sorcerer's Hand will always be ready.
That's a disturbing name.
That's the name of your ship?
It is as named by the Admiral himself.
That makes sense.
It has the desired effect. I'll give it that. That's like well named, just disturbing.
To what extent will you follow our requests? If we ask you to, say, stay far enough away from the island that said ship is not readily visible.
Happy to do so.
Okay.
I have various course deviations that I am allowed to make. And I have a breadth within I'm allowed to operate. Good. And if you excuse me, this is my first mate and our ship's doctor. This is, excuse me, this is Dr. Schruber. He introduces the guy, the fancy dressed man. The fancy dressed man with glasses. Hello there, Dr. Schruber. It's good to meet you.
Likewise.
Likewise.
Does he have a firm handshake?
No, he's kind of going limp fish on you.
Oh, ugh.
Right, Captain, perhaps we should be returning to the ship. We're leaving at the morning. Right, so, come down, look for Dock 23. We'll be there. I can have you there. Normally, it would take you 3 months to get there. I can get you there in 2.5 weeks. Tops.
Out of curiosity, what is it exactly that makes your ship so much faster than any other?
Magic.
I thought so, but I mean, what sort of magic?
I don't know. Do I look like a bloody magician to you? Sorry, madam. Sorry. I don't understand the magic.
I'm truly offended.
I'm terribly sorry, madam. You see, I am only just moving myself from a lower lifestyle up into a higher class of society, and I am still a slave to my crude mannerisms. What I think the captain means to say.
But I do suggest that perhaps you speak with a slight bit more respect.
I do again. The captain apologizes.
Thank you very much, Captain.
The captain does in fact apologize. I am more familiar with the magical workings of the boat. It is various mechanical mechanisms have been automated and amplified by magical processes done by the master. Excuse me, Admiral Diaz. You see that this will allow us to travel far faster than we otherwise would.
Okay.
I know the mechanical details. I'd be happy to show you. I feel I would struggle to explain it without showing you, but I don't understand how the magic itself works.
Understood. Perhaps sometime on the ship.
I shall look forward to it. Nay, I shall even relish it. He bows and fluffs out his kerchief, and then he goes, Captain.
He does a really good job at pretending that wasn't a little weird. But she like graciously accepted. It's like, oh, thank you so much.
Come, Captain, we're leaving. And the guy walks out, and the captain goes, right, good evening.
After they leave, I'm gonna turn to the group. So, who do you think is actually in charge of this ship?
That's what I was gonna say.
Like Zoink, Scoob!
Anyway, though, before that, I want to go look at that. I'll be back. Next, it's gonna go look at the money.
Okay, next goes over to the money. As you're leaving, Kazaroth kind of cocks her head at you, Casita. Not Casita, sorry,
Yeah.
LSF. So,
Hello?
yeah. He
Hi?
Diaz talked to me about your hometown.
Excuse me, what?
Your hometown. Diaz talked to me about it. Looks like you're not the only looks like I'm not the only person with a personal vendetta. I think everybody has a personal vendetta against him by this point.
I mean,
But
not personal, but yeah.
you've never told us much about yourself. Tell us about your town. Tell us about what Diaz did to you. Tell us about you.
Well, I'm from a town in the north, which I suppose you all know is a bit strange for wood elves. But I was from a small village named Kiev. We didn't really, bother with the world. We're stuck in our own little world. You know how wood elves are. Always having celebrations and general joviality. And, I was... I was about to turn 85, and I was supposed to get married, and out of nowhere, flames came, and there was a loud roaring, and everyone was screaming, and people were yelling dragon, and there was smoke everywhere. Burning flesh smells just yeah, I don't it's not there anymore. If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go for a walk.
Okay.
And LSF kind of just like very nervous and just kind of leaves.
Sorry, quick logistical out of character question here, but Diaz is a black dragon, right?
Diaz is a black dragon.
Black dragons are acid breath weapon, not fire.
Yeah.
Is that not a thing in
That's what you would
world?
think.
I'm saying as an out of character.
As an out of character, I haven't been religious to what dragons' powers are based on their color. Like,
okay.
as an I've been way looser about the whole chromatic metallic thing. Like, but generally, black dragons would be seen as acidic.
Okay.
Oh, before LSF left, she did share. I've spent years tracking down this dragon, and the past year I discovered its name was Cayenne Bloodclaw, which you all know as Diaz. And then she leaves.
Oh, okay. That was...
She like left the tavern?
Yes.
Yeah, she like turns to leave. I don't know if anyone wants to stop her or not.
No, it's generally best to let people leave for a couple minutes and then go find them.
Yeah. No,
And
thank
in
you.
that couple minutes, I want to go talk to the tabaxi who's disturbed.
The disturbed tabaxi is just kind of sitting there swirling his brandy.
Hi.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I was worried that the actions of my friends and I have disturbed you.
They have indeed, sir. He finishes
Why?
off his brandy and puts it. Because I come to this place to not be disturbed. I every day face the wearing evils of business. This business, that, always with the coins and the purses and the goods and the jars and the buttons. More brandy! More brandy!
Brandy's on me. Bring him some more. Bring him the bottle. Bring him the bottle.
I come to this tavern to be at peace with myself until the sun again rises, but it's hard to be at peace when inconsiderate people bring their personal belongings crashing through ceilings.
Really?
Yes. Yes. Really, that's all the reallys. I am disturbed, sir.
I'll agree you're disturbed, just not in the way that you say.
Are you impugning my honor, sir?
Your honor? No, just your mindset. I've got something I'd like to tell you here. Look. Your business is your business. You can relax, you can drink your brandy. So long as you're not harmed, you shouldn't be disturbed. If you're disturbed by people entering a place, someone getting, jumped and brought in a chokehold, you might want to you might just want to stay home and drink your brandy. But here's the deal. You live in a world full of cool stuff, right? If you're coming to drink your brandy to relax, enjoy the show, man. So get your head out of the clouds and quit thinking of yourself as so important. Shut your face about being disturbed. Just enjoy life. Seriously, you got a whole bottle of brandy now.
Uncle Vilcus's life advice.
Vilcus, here's what I want you to do.
It's also cheaper.
Oh man. What even kind of check is that? Inspiration? Is there a words of wisdom check?
Straight charisma, maybe.
Make a straight charisma check, Vilcus.
Straight charisma, alright. That's not bad. Alrighty, that is a modified 20.
Modified 20. Alright, so I had this guy roll evens or odds. He goes, "That is fine advice, sir. For a simpleton!" He leaps from his chair and puts up his hands ready to box you.
Alright, I'm gonna grab him by the shoulder.
I throw a kunai and it stabs into his cloak and sticks him to the wall. Or at least I want it to.
Make an attack. Make an attack.
I was okay.
Make an attack, please.
That escalated way more than it could have.
19.
19. You do pin him to the wall. Vilcus, you feel like it whispered across your ear. Or no.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Calm down. I want to unpin him from the wall, but keep my hand on his shoulder and forcibly sit him back down in his chair.
The guy's like...
Look. You don't want to take my advice? That's your problem. You can keep living your life disturbed as you want to be. That is your problem. But I would like to say this. I've happened to have taken a liking to the person who runs this inn. So if you let your being disturbed interrupt coming here, I will know. And I will make sure you continue coming here.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Can I walk over and take my kunai back from from Vilcus?
You absolutely can.
Noah, do you give it back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 42.
You.
No, sorry. 44.
You see his face make an extremely strange contortion.
Oh god, we broke the tabaxi.
I will come back. I will always come back. I'm going to pee myself. He just like pulls himself outside, and you hear some wails of distress from behind the tavern. And then he comes back in a couple minutes later, just smoothing himself off and going back down to sit for more brandy.
He's got the whole bottle now. I
Yes.
purchased him the whole bottle.
He does.
So.
He's just gonna start swirling the bottle.
I'm just gonna walk back to Miss Wimple and be like, I'm sorry for all the disturbances, but I'm fairly certain your disturbed customers will stay loyal.
Mrs. Wimple is just like,
Mrs. Whipple is regretting ever letting us walk into her tavern.
Mrs. Wimple is like, you're leaving tomorrow, right?
That was the plan. But the bright side is, this is a loyal customer.
Okay.
You didn't hear me
I
threaten
toss her
you.
5 gold to
doing
pay
that-
for
I
the
was
hole
doing
in the
that
wall that I
quietly
made
enough.
with my knife.
Okay. She goes, thank you.
I had to talk to him about being disturbed and things. It was good.
Before they leave in the morning, Nexa would like to find like some single flower and a vase and just leave a small note that says "We're sorry"
Okay.
with a flower.
Duly noted.
I was really hoping I could convince that guy, but he's convinced to be loyal, so she didn't lose a customer over the deal.
While
After that,
whole
I'd like to go
mess is
find Eliseth.
Okay.
going down, I kind of want to chat with Kaz.
Alright, so you go find Eliseth. We'll go to that one. We're going to go to you and Kazaroth really quick, and then we'll go to Eliseth and Velkus. So, okay, so we'll start with Kazaroth and Casita.
Hey, Kaz.
Yeah.
You seem to be growling at the... Casita points at the raven.
I don't like him.
Any specific... I mean, I don't like him, but any specific reason why you suddenly got so volatile about it?
Because he wants to destroy you for who you are.
I mean, the same is true of me and him.
It's different.
How so?
It is.
I'm trying to understand. Can you
He's not you. You're you.
Casita looks confused.
It's not important. I'm sorry.
No, like, is it like like a friend thing?
Yes,
Or is
yes,
this...
yes.
Okay.
Because I care about you, and he's a threat to that, and I will stop you from hurting him if you lose your mind.
Look, it's uncomfortable. Like I told Nexa, it's like having a stomachache and an itch, and something's always prodding you to poke. I won't lose my mind. It just brings back lots of bad memories of a time when I was helpless and beaten into a pulp every day. Anyway, I won't lose my mind. I promise.
I get the same feeling when I eat walnuts.
What?
I don't know. So...
Okay.
But listen, if you need me to do anything regarding him, let me know.
Thanks, guys.
I need to be alone for a while. Oh, and this was sound stupid. Does he remind you of me when we first met?
No.
Okay. she's gonna go upstairs and just you hear the door close.
You weren't quite that nuts.
You hear the door close and you just hear. Why did you just hear the voice through the floor? Why did you put it all in our bedroom?
Okay, that's it.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, Vilkas. You looking for LSF? Oh, LSF, are you trying to hide?
Not really.
Okay.
If she's gone, I'm actually pretty good at tracking, so I might be able to
Go
find
ahead,
her.
make a survival check, man.
Good. Elsa's not the only tracker.
Oh, nope, I got a natural 1. Bilkis gets lost in the city.
Vilkas, you miss LSF entirely. Make another survival check.
I'm actually pretty good at these if I don't roll 2 natural 1s in a row. I got another natural 1! I'm not going well.
Vilkas,
I really am good at survival
Okay,
checks. It's one of
so-
the-
This is making up for the 3 natural 20s Tasha
is
got in a
there
row.
anything anybody
Yeah.
would like to do tonight before we return to Noah?
I messaged you my.
I did.
feedback.
I'll settle that with
That's
you.
good.
Um,
Yeah.
The Raven wants to talk to Casita, but that can happen in like roll 20 whispers.
okay, go for it, then. So, I'm gonna pick up again the next morning. So the next morning, Vilkas comes limping up to the inn with a black eye and a victorious grin minus a tooth. Vilkas,
Wait, please tell me he got shaved. Please tell me he got shaved.
he is fully furred at the moment. He is... Fortunately, Vilkas has stumbled back. Vilkas, you got lost. You ended up back in the slums. Somebody called you a furry so-and-so. Not nice words. You hit them. All their buddies tried to hit you. You hit all their buddies. There was a brawl that had to be broken up by the city guard. The city guard chased you because they didn't believe you. Eventually you convinced them who they were, or you just scared them enough to let them go, to make you let them go, and you have returned.
I want to make a heal check on Vilkas and check out his limp and try to
Also,
help him
Vilkas, you
in
didn't find any
way.
pit fights. I'm so sorry.
2 natural 1s in a row. My goodness. It's not a good night. And then, especially after I just had to threaten a man into being a loyal customer. It was just...
Vilkas, you went from the high of highs to the low of lows. So eventually, the next morning, when you arrive back, Kazaroth is very happy to see you. She wasn't exactly thrilled that you were missing all night. What happened to you?
I got lost. Look, I beat up a local gang. All of them. And then the guard showed up and didn't believe that I was all, not a terrible, evil murderer. It was a long night. Gutters are not comfortable places to sleep.
Oh, honey.
Vilkas making the slums safer, one gang at a time.
Here, let's go get you cleaned off. She's gonna take you downstairs. I'll say after that, while everybody's still packing up and getting ready, and after you're clean, after Kazaroth's seen to you being clean. Whoa, hi. after Kazaroth's made sure you're all cleaned up and stuff. Do you still want to talk to LSF? Vilkas. Do you still want to talk to LSF?
Well, the moment was kind of ruined. We'll talk to Elephant, but not right then.
Okay. That's true.
So,
yes.
so Kira does want to hear the conversation between the Raven and Casita.
All right.
So if that can happen.
Retcon.
Also, I couldn't make the whisper work for
Vilkas throwing a punch in reverse.
Well, no, it's perfectly fine for the conversation to wait until after, until the next day. It's
Okay,
not
so
time sensitive.
It's morning. Mrs. Whipple is serving you breakfast.
Interesting. Okay.
Huh, neat. Alright. Alright, so,
The dinner knives are sticking out of the table.
so, but, I'm ready to hear this conversation too.
So I would probably wait until after we're finished eating because he wants to take Casita. He wants to take Casita off to the side for a second.
Okay, sure.
What?
And he's first things first. He's going to take his sword off its hook and hand it to her,
Okay.
just so that she knows that he has no intention of doing anything bad.
Okay.
And then he's gonna lower the hood on his cloak so that she can see the horns. And he's going to say, I was not treated well by the devils, but I still feel a mental pull to them and against you. Do you know of any way I can resist it?
Do I, DM?
Whew! I was not expecting that question.
Neither was I.
Make a knowledge planes or a knowledge religion check.
Ooh, what die are we using?
The one that got 3 natural 20s.
Yeah, well, they got me a 3 last time. I know we talked about this before, and I totally forget. What kind of bonus is there to knowledge planes for having been in the planes?
+4, I think.
Okay, in that case, 18.
18. If there is, you don't know.
If there is, I don't know. Sorry, I probably should have found a better way to say that. But the whole against me thing is, I got that one too against you. I don't think there's anything we could do about that.
Then maybe it's best if I keep my distance.
Right? Probably.
Or
Going
you can
cold.
see if it's better if you have a good slugfest and beat each other up.
I mean, is saying this.
I'm assuming Vilcus can't hear what you're saying.
I mean, the Raven wouldn't entirely be opposed to that, except that it would break the contract, so... Anyway, okay. So... He holds out his hand for the sword, and he says, I'll be following you, but I won't interact much.
Okay, that needs some clarification. Are you following the group? Are you just dropping out of the whole creepy stalking thing and just sticking with us for the duration of this whole mess?
I shall be following you, not at a distance. I will be clearly accessible, but I'm going to remain private. And he still has his whole hand out, waiting for the sword.
Well, that's lovely for you. She'll hand the sword off and walk away.
Interesting.
I didn't punch him. I didn't punch him. Yes, self-control.
Namaste.
What?
The Americanized pronunciation of namaste.
Namaste. I was gonna say.
Namaste. Well done. I'm intrigued by the dynamic. I'm just very.
Yeah, this is gonna end up coming to a head at some point.
This is very interesting. Alright, is there anything else you guys want to do before heading down to the Sorcerer's Hand on Dock 23?
Do we have time for shopping?
Yeah, we have a lot of money now.
We have a ton of money. Are there places that sell things like healing potions around here? Because we no longer have a primary source of ingredients for making potions, even if we still have someone who can make potions.
There is
Yeah, or if there is an ingredient shop.
there is a place that sells such ingredients and potions. Is there anything else I can do for you? Mrs. Whipple is kind of like
Mrs. Whipple, how much do we owe you for the ceiling?
2,000.
Can we give her 2,500?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Thank you.
Does it seem to sweeten her attitude at
A
all?
little bit. Thank you very much for your stay. It's a lovely place to come once, isn't it? It is.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yes, and thank you for undisturbing my one customer, sir. You may return. I hope to see you again someday.
Oh, yes. I look forward to it.
Alright, so we're all going to the potion shop.
Yes, may I ask, how are you transporting all this silver?
Bag of holding.
So,
The bag of holding can't hold 4.7 tons.
Well, it all started.
The other
Yes.
question
yes.
Yeah.
was, how easy is it to buy bags of holding?
They're not terribly uncommon.
But they are very expensive.
They are fairly expensive.
That's
I really
okay,
feel like
we're
money's not an object.
plenty.
Okay, so basically, by doing the math, you figure out that you can divide this silver evenly by roughly about 20 bags of holding. Not 20, that's too high. Let's see, hold on.
Is there a bank we can get this converted to platinum?
There would be a bank on the island. This is an island for rich people.
We would also still need a way to transport it to the bank.
Yeah.
Vilka?
You have a Bempy cloak, Vilcus.
But it only works 3 times a day.
3 times a day.
And there's a lot of us.
3 trips with the bag of holding. That leaves us with only 17 more.
There's a lot of us too.
There are a
If
lot
we
of you.
put as much as we can into the 2 bags of holding, and everyone just like shoulders a bunch of chests.
Oh, did that cart come back? I did request it to come back.
Oh, you did, and it's outside.
There we go. Let's put it on the cart. take it to
Seemingly,
the
as
bank.
soon as you want it, it appears outside.
Oh, awesome.
That's creepy.
Cool.
What if we could put the silver on it, and then when we want the silver, we just think about it, and it just comes?
It does not work that way, says the dark cloak man, who suddenly seems to appear in the room.
Oh,
Interesting. How does it work then?
We have a blanket of thoughts out across this island. We know when someone desires us, and we arrive.
You're the Spanish Inquisition.
I was thinking a really great taxi service, but that's a little different.
Very well. We will
Cool.
carry this to the bank. Under what name shall we open the account?
Nexa.
No, 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 no.
No.
I'm not even a part of the party anymore, and I'm saying no.
You hear across the ocean over here going, no!
Over here, just like a Darth Vader no.
No! On some boat.
Okay, Bedlam. Put it under Bedlam.
Mr. or Mrs.
The
Or
group.
Ms.
Bedlam Incorporated.
Bedlam, Mrs. Bedlam Incorporated. Bedlam Incorporated.
Mrs. Bedlam
With
Incorporated.
a hyphen in between Bedlam and Incorporated. That is how it is recorded from now on. Mrs.
This is in
Bedlam.
the quotes list.
Mrs. Bedlam hyphen Incorporated is now your bank account.
But I didn't think we were storing it. We were just getting it
Yeah,
converted.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
You may come and pick it up when it is your best time. We cannot convert it here.
I say we should take as much as we need for shopping, and then send the rest to the bank. That's probably a good idea. And then we can pick it up on the way back after we defeat the wizards.
Alright, so you guys are like grab 2 chests.
Does this bank have a branch in Taya?
This bank has no branches. It is the bank. The single bank. The bank.
Okay.
What?
It is the bank.
Right. Okay.
Nothing's not creepy at all.
No.
It will do us well to stay in business together, Lord of Blackmore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're creepy.
Okay.
What do these people look like?
They're 2 very sort of pale, pasty guys under dark cloaks.
I'm locking you in.
Alrighty.
With dark cloaks.
Was that Joe?
Good news is there's no cleaner, so you won't.
It is Joe. That's
Hi, Joe.
Who is Joe?
Joe is our night watchman.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
You guys have 1 night watchman?
Psych, we got 2. There you go. Sometimes.
We have an
Any?
entire police force.
Joe was just telling us that he was locking us in and that the pleading people wouldn't come kick us out.
I'm kind of disturbed by the sheer difference in size between our universities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which university are you going to?
Liberty.
Yeah, you're like 23 times the size of Karen.
Yeah, we have 16,000 residential students and 120,000 online students.
All right.
We have
So,
16.
back to
Yeah.
the game.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyway,
Bank.
The bank. We are the bank. The only bank. The one bank. The high bank. The bank to end all banks.
Just take the stuff to the bank.
I am taking it to the bank, sir. He gets on
Now.
the, he gets on the
Yesterday.
cart, and they start going down until they suddenly fade and just disappear.
Never seeing our money again. Okay.
With our money.
As just then, Vilcus, a note drops at your feet, and it reads,
Okay.
"Bank account, 100,000 gold, silver pieces. Sorry, 100,000 gold pieces." Reading
Did we
out what the
keep
number.
50,000?
What?
Did we keep 50,000?
Oh, that. How many were you keeping? 50.
150,000, half of 300,000.
That was the amount of gold pieces.
Oh,
It
yes.
was.
I'm sorry. Then that is what you have. So it lists that. It lists a small handling fee, but it does give you a. It says handling and arcane functions fee.
Cool.
But it also lists the names that it says unclarity of name can be found under Bedlam Incorporated or Mrs. Bedlam Incorporated.
Okay.
Okay.
I do not feel like our money is secure.
Right.
Me
Your-
neither.
All right.
Your money could not be more secure. A note
Alright.
at the a little note at the bottom of the paper you have reads, "Your money could not be more secure," with "could" and "not" underlined.
I've never wanted to break into a bank before, but I'm starting to get those vibes.
Nexa just kind of looks at you and is like,
The interesting thing is, if you stole our money and they didn't know you had, they'd still owe us 150,000 gold, and you'd have 150,000 gold.
Yes, but
I
I
know
don't
how to
steal.
double our money.
Stealing is wrong.
I'm really liking the sound of this racket.
It's the kind of thing Nexa would do, not the kind of thing Casita would do.
Let's see. Stop the man just trying to take over
The
the
Raven
world,
would totally join.
or break into a creepy bank.
All right. Are we going shopping or not?
I thought we were doing shopping outside of the game.
Yes, we will be settling the shopping outside of the game.
Okay.
I think we're gonna wrap things up for tonight. Thank you all for joining. This has been a little bit of a weird session. We started with the skeleton crew, worked our way up to almost everybody. I'm pleased to report that Gabrielle made it to her destination safely.
Good.
So that is good. If perhaps we could have a quotes read off.
Absolutely. Ethan, you joining me for this one?
I don't have the document open, but I can open it real quick.
Okay.
So
It would
please.
feel wrong to do it alone. So.
Please do leave comments, leave questions. I hope to do another midweek video this week, or maybe next week. I don't know. I did a midweek story catch up video. So I'd like to do one maybe about lore or a. I think starting with lore would be a nice thing. Get some people familiar with this world. Talk about the different people in it. Is that something?
Tell me when you're ready, Ethan.
Is that something you guys would be interested in? I'm like, cause I know some of it. Like, I feel like we could use like. I know the lore is a lot to digest.
Ready?
All right. We're up for quotes, DM.
Go for it.
Starting us off with, "My liver is a renewable resource." Noah.
Happy 6th birthday! Here's how you shank someone. Yeah.
Potential tavern names: the Careening Brain and Sweet Butt Monkeys.
I know fictional drugs! Tasha.
This guy is a drug, Ethan. A disturbed drunk, Andrew.
Judith Strudel Tuttle Whipple, Andrew.
You can keep living your life disturbed as you want to be, Vilcus.
Mrs. Bedlam Incorporated, DM.
That's it. We don't have a lot today.
That's okay. Alright, so, well, I hope you all out there in the worldwide internet land are having a good night.
DM, check the chat real quick before you end it.
Chat is being checked.
Most recent message, did I miss a lore video after the first one?
No, Kira, our most loyal viewer. As far as I can tell, possibly our only viewer.
No, Gabrielle's friend was on last week, too.
Oh, Jamie?
She was messaging with Kira.
Jamie?
I don't know.
Okay, sorry, that was random. But, to our fans, even though you can be counted on one hand, we still love you. Please come back for more. Please tell your friends about us. Please share us on the social medias. I think that's what we're going to end for tonight. No, and Kira, I am planning to try and do some more lore videos in the future. I've just been slammed, so... with schoolwork, because schoolwork is annoying, and graduating is hard.
You are not wrong.
Thank you, cousin. Alright. Have a good night, everybody. And
good night.
A farewell.